Teacher, don't cry. How about we go get our marriage certificate? A year ago, Jiang Bai met a beautiful goddess by accident. A year later, he became the goddess's professor's assistant. Liu Ruyan, I gave birth to 3 children, all of them are yours. The recognition was successful, and the perfect life system was activated. Ding! Their host has completed the task of singing a love song to his wife in public, and is rewarded with 100% equity of Jinhai Real Estate Company. Ding! Their host has completed the task of destroying the Xuanwu University basketball team, and is rewarded with a pounce on his wife once, and the current wealth will double. Ding! Check their host and his wife for showing affection in various ways, and reward a 30 million extended version of Bugatti Veyron. Jiang Bai, hurry up, the baby rations are out Jiang Bai. Since then, Jiang Bai has either been adding food or on their way to adding food. Chapter 1, Jiang Bai, I have 3 children and they are all yours. A Midsummer Night. The opening season at Jiangnan University. At the front gate of the school, the sight of many beautiful girls walking by, with their slender, straight legs turning heads, is quite a feast for the eyes. Especially their legs wrapped in tight fabrics catching the gaze of many upperclassmen, all eager to meet the freshmen and hoping for a chance encounter. Hey, boss. I heard that a beautiful female professor has transferred to our school this year. Damn, what a pity. I'm already a senior, otherwise, I'd definitely repeat my first year just to chase after her. 3 figures stared at the passing freshman girls, occasionally swallowing their saliva. Jiang Bai couldn't help but shake his head and smile bitterly. Old Lin, you guys should watch your image. Har. Boss, you just don't know how tough life is when you're well fed. Lin Zifan glared at the boss. We're not like you. You're the campus heartthrob and even got hired as a teaching assistant. Exactly, and those new freshman girls will be all over you Ding dong . While they were talking, Lin Zifan received a photo. Holy crap. Boss, this goddess professor is so beautiful. Gulp . The other 2 also swallowed. Damn, if they could marry this goddess teacher, they'd willingly lose 20 years off their lives. Jiang Bai heard them and glanced over. Liu Ruyan was wearing a black skirt, a white shirt, black high heels, and her long legs encased in black stockings, evoking some fantasies. Her bust, just below her collarbone, seemed almost ready to burst from the tight fabric. What a stunning beauty! But as Jiang Bai's gaze landed on Liu Ruyan's exquisite face, he froze for a moment. This goddess professor looks familiar. That's right. She was the woman who tricked him into a hotel a year ago. That night, Jiang Bai had been drinking with his roommates, talking about life. They were all drunk, and in his drunken haze, a beautiful woman came up to challenge him to a drinking match. They had a great time chatting, and that was how they ended up spending the night together. The next morning, Jiang Bai woke up to find a stunning beauty sleeping next to him, completely naked. Her alluring face under the golden sunlight was simply enchanting. That beautiful woman turned out to be a cold, goddess-like professor. And now, she was coming to Jiangnan University . Boss, are you alright? Lin Zifan saw the boss staring at the photo and grinned. Har, I thought no beautiful woman would ever catch your eye. Never thought I'd see the day . Wang Kuan and Chen Feng exchanged knowing glances, both of them seeing the mischievous smile in each other's eyes. Jiang Bai glanced at the 3 of them. You might not believe this, but I slept with her a year ago. Oh . The 3 of them immediately pretended to gag. What the hell, even if this goddess professor is beautiful, you don't need to rub it in like that. Yeah, after sleeping with this beauty, you're practically telling us you slept with a movie queen. Jiang Bai felt their mockery but didn't he bother to explain further. He just hoped they wouldn't meet too soon. Senior, could you tell me how to get to the freshman registration? A pretty girl, dragging her luggage, approached him and asked. Lin Zifan's eyes lit up when he saw a gorgeous girl. Freshman, right? The registration area. Sorry, I'm looking for this senior. The beautiful girl came up to Jiang Bai and apologized. Lin Zifan's lips twitched. Boss, you go ahead. After sending the freshman away, Lin Zifan stared at Jiang Bai with a mournful look. Boss, I really want to disfigure you. I shouldn't have brought you here to see girls . Wang Kuan and Chen Feng nodded vigorously, feeling deeply sympathetic. After half a day, not a single girl had come to ask for their help. Afternoon. Jiang Bai, as a teaching assistant, arrived at the designated large classroom to meet the freshmen. Wow, such a handsome guy. Is he our counselor? Hey, if only we could get his WeChat tilde. Jiang Bai stood on the podium, looking at the enthusiastic freshman. Hello everyone, my name is Jiang Bai, I'm your senior in my 4th year, and I will be your teaching assistant. Senior. As soon as these words were spoken, the students in the large classroom looked up at Jiang Bai with starry eyes. Many of them quickly started searching for him on the school's website, and when they found out he was the campus heartthrob, the girls' admiration for him grew even stronger. They were now even more excited for the days ahead with their handsome teaching assistant. Hee, senior, let us create a group chat and you can be the group admin. Yeah, that's a great idea tilde. The girls eagerly volunteered, while the boys in the class felt bitter envy, knowing that they stood no chance against the assistant's good looks. Well, alright tilde. After thinking for a moment, Jiang Bai agreed. He knew he'd need to send notifications about class matters, so he opened WeChat and added everyone to the group. Before long, a beautiful woman entered the classroom. She wore a white shirt, a black pencil skirt, and had long, flowing black hair. Her face was exquisite, and her big, captivating eyes shone with charm. Her elegant, mature aura immediately caught everyone's attention. What? When Jiang Bai saw her, his face was filled with disbelief. It was none other than Liu Ruyan, the cold, goddess-like professor who had just transferred to the university. The very same woman he had encountered a year ago. This student, you must be Jiang Bai, the 4th-year teaching assistant. Liu Ruyan began, but when she saw Jiang Bai's face, the chalk she was holding fell to the ground with a snap, breaking into pieces. It's you? The students in the classroom looked at each other in confusion. What? Their cold professor and counselor knew the teaching assistant. Jiang Bai awkwardly smiled. Long time no see. Then, he pulled a piece of chalk from the podium and handed it to Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan's face flushed red as she took the chalk and began her self-introduction. However, her heart was no longer calm. How could this be? The man she had been with a year ago turned out to be a senior at Jiangnan University, and now he was her teaching assistant. What was she supposed to do? He was her teaching assistant, which meant they'd have a lot of contact in the future. With a forced smile, the roll call finished. Jiang Bai, please come to my office. Liu Ruyan, holding the roll book, walked towards her office, and Jiang Bai followed behind her, feeling like 1,000 curses were running through his mind. Damn it, what a coincidence. He had signed a 2-year contract with the school, which meant he'd have to work with this goddess professor for at least 2 years. Soon, they arrived at the office. Liu Ruyan casually locked the office door behind her, and Jiang Bai's heart skipped a beat. How have you been this past year? Liu Ruyan looked at Jiang Bai with a complex expression, nervously asking. Not bad. Jiang Bai coughed awkwardly, feeling that the atmosphere was off. And you? Hearing Jiang Bai ask about her situation, Liu Ruyan couldn't hold back her tears, and they started to fall, startling Jiang Bai. Teacher Liu, are you okay? Liu Ruyan, with tears streaming down her face, finally let out everything that had been bottled up. I have 3 children, and they are all yours. Chapter 2, Does the Dad arrive? A few minutes later, Jiang Bai was sitting in Liu Ruyan's electric scooter, heading towards the Xuanwu residential complex. Seeing the cold, high-maintenance professor driving a little scooter, Jiang Bai felt an overwhelming sense of guilt. Maybe it's because of the 3 little ones that she has fallen on hard times. Could it be, her job as an advisor is just to earn money for the kids' milk powder? The thought made him feel even more guilty. He wasn't a fool. For a moment, he wanted to slap himself. Damn it, have I really turned into a scumbag? He could hardly bear to imagine what his mother would do if she found out. It wouldn't he just be breaking his legs, his dad might join in and beat him to death. Gulp. He didn't dare imagine that scene. Arriving at the apartment, the door opened. Wow tilde. As soon as the door opened, the 3 little ones began crying loudly. Liu Ruyan quickly put down the keys and rushed in. Jiang Bai stood there, stunned, staring at the room, which was filled with diapers and milk powder cans. Miss Liu, you're here. A middle-aged woman sighed in relief. I just fed the triplets their milk, so they shouldn't be hungry. But I think it's because they haven't seen you for a while. Thank you, Aunt Wang, Liu Ruyan said apologetically. She knew all too well how hard it was to raise 3 children alone, but what could she do? These 3 little ones were born in secret. But Liu Ruyan's arrival didn't seem to work. The 3 kids were still crying and flailing their tiny hands and feet. This, cough, cough, how about I try? Jiang Bai mustered his courage and stepped in. As he approached the 3 adorable little ones, they all turned to look at him, and the crying instantly stopped. Liu Ruyan. Aunt Wang, who was covered in sweat, finally understood what was going on. Miss Liu, this must be the children's father, right? Well, I'll be. The moment their father shows up, they stop crying. Jiang Bai carefully picked up one of the babies. As soon as he did, the baby didn't cry but instead let out a delighted giggle. That cute smile melted Jiang Bai's heart. Liu Ruyan couldn't help but smile like a doting aunt, watching the bond between father and child. Was this the power of blood relations? Wow tilde. Just then, the other 2 babies started crying again, but this time it was louder and more distressed. Aunt Wang, confused, asked, cough, Miss Liu, do you think the 2nd and 3rd babies are jealous? That can't be. They are too young for that. But before Liu Ruyan could finish, Jiang Bai had already picked up the other 2 babies, and sure enough, they stopped crying. The first baby blinked its eyes, watching its father holding its 2 younger sisters, full of curiosity. This. Liu Ruyan was completely confused. Jealous? At such a young age, really? Ding! Congratulations, host, for completing the system activation task. The perfect life system is now successfully activated. Ding! Host has triggered a random task, care for the triplets for half a day. Reward, God tier massage ability. Failure to complete the task, host will lose 5 centimeters in height. What the hell? Upon hearing the system's notification, Jiang Bai felt a chill run down his spine. The punishment was too cruel. How about I take care of them? Jiang Bai said firmly. He wasn't afraid of the failure penalty. He actually wanted to care for his 3 kids and make up for the lost fatherly love. Really? Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Aunt Wan was relieved. Miss Liu, since my son-in-law managed to have triplets, he should be more than capable of handling them. Chapter 3, Men are indeed big pigs' hooves. Aunt Wang, take care. After seeing Aunt Wang off and closing the door, the atmosphere in the room instantly turned a bit awkward. Tilde. Soon, Jiang Bai noticed a faint unpleasant smell in the air. What's that smell? It's awful. Teacher Liu, did the 3 little ones go potty? This. Upon hearing Jiang Bai mention potty, and especially after smelling the stench, Liu Ruyan immediately panicked. What do we do now? Aunt Wen used to handle this. I'll do it. Jiang Bai took 3 diapers and placed them aside, assessing the situation. 2 of the babies had pooped, and 1 had peed. The weather's turning cooler. Teacher Liu, could you bring some warm water? And also some wet wipes. Liu Ruyan, following his instructions, soon returned with a basin of warm water and a pack of wet wipes. After disposing of the dirty diapers and swiftly cleaning up, Jiang Bai's movements were surprisingly smooth and skilled, almost more professional than Aunt Wang. Jiang Bai, I didn't realize you were so good with kids. Liu Ruyan, feeling relieved, let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness he was here, otherwise, she wouldn't have known what to do. It's nothing. On the way here, I searched it up online. I've always been good with my hands. Jiang Bai made up an excuse, and Liu Ruyan, hearing it, didn't know what to think. Her face flushed slightly, as the phrase good with hands did carry a certain implication. But she quickly dismissed the thought. Really? She calmed herself, casually responding, well, still, thank you. Thank me. Jiang Bai was a bit taken aback. He cleared his throat and added, well, taking care of my own kids is my responsibility. No need to thank me. The 2 hadn't known each other for long, so it wasn't strange that Liu Ruyan said this. Ding! Host helped the triplets change diapers. Reward, 30,000 yuan, an extended version of the Porsche 718. Note, Host's supercar is parked downstairs. Jiang Bai was stunned when he heard the system's reward. 30,000 yuan? An extended version of the Porsche 718? This reward is amazing. Especially the extended Porsche 718. Knowing his family was big, the system had specifically arranged for a longer version. Plus, the electric scooter that the kid's mom was riding definitely needed an upgrade. It would be embarrassing if a cool, high-maintenance professor was riding a scooter. Liu Ruyan naturally understood this, so she always tried to sneak around when coming out. Right? Jiang Bai thought of something important, clearing his throat. By the way, Teacher Liu, I still don't know the names of the three little ones. Oh. Liu Ruyan paused for a moment after hearing Jiang Bai's question. The one on the left is the eldest, his name is Lele. The one on the far right is the second, Xinshin, and the third is Nian Nian, she is a girl. Lele, Xinshin, Nian Nian? Not bad, Professor, those names sound very nice. Jiang Bai gave a thumbs up. The names were meaningful and easy to pronounce, much better than random names like doggy or puppy. Really? Liu Ruyan felt a little happy when she heard someone compliment the names she had given her children. She thought about the scene just now and felt that having them recognize each other was a good thing. Of course, much better than mine. Millimeter, wow tilde tilde. Just as the conversation between the two was becoming more relaxed, the three little ones started crying again. Liu Ruyan frowned. Why? Jiang Bai, why are they crying again? Clearly, she lacked experience in raising kids, and instinctively asked Jiang Bai, especially after seeing how smoothly he handled things earlier. The triplets just pooped and peed. They should be, cough, hungry. As he spoke, Jiang Bai unconsciously glanced at Liu Ruyan's almost broken button, and his face turned slightly red. Hungry? Then I'll feed them right now. Liu Ruyan skillfully unbuttoned her shirt and began to feed one of the babies. Jiang Bai, finally realizing what was happening, couldn't he help but gasp. My goodness, that's at least a D+ cup, isn't he it? The three babies sure are lucky. Liu Ruyan noticed Jiang Bai's shocked gaze and immediately turned red, but since the priority was feeding the baby, she held her composure. She couldn't help but awkwardly say, cough, Jiang Bai, can you bring the other two babies? She said this because she noticed the other two were already ready as well. Okay. Unable to control himself, Jiang Bai stole a few more glances and swallowed nervously. He wasn't sure what he was thinking at the moment. After a while, Liu Ruyan, still blushing, said, it seems, they are still not full. Here tilde tilde. By then, Jiang Bai had already prepared 3 bottles of milk. I've mixed the milk powder. You can feed the eldest, and I'll feed the second and third. You, okay? Liu Ruyan, feeling Jiang Bai still staring at her, quickly buttoned up, muttering to herself, men are really just big pigs' hooves. By the way. Jiang Bai quickly cleared his throat, trying to push the earlier scene from his mind. I just mixed the milk powder, but it seems like we're running low. Out of milk powder. Liu Ruyan's face immediately changed. What are we going to do? My salary advance hasn't come through yet. Sure enough. Seeing Liu Ruyan's reaction, Jiang Bai realized that the goddess professor was in an even tighter spot than he had imagined. I've got some money. I can buy the milk powder for the triplets. What? No way. You haven't even graduated yet. Liu Ruyan immediately tried to refuse, thinking that Jiang Bai, as a student, wouldn't have much money. In fact, she had never spent a penny since her pregnancy. Ding! Host has triggered a side quest, order milk powder for the triplets. The system will cover the cost, and the host will be refunded 100% of the expenses. Chapter for Teacher Liu, do you have a lump there? System payment. Jiang Bai's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he thought for a moment, let's have 50 cans first. Liu Ruyan. Mr. Jiang, do you want to order 50 cans of milk powder? The store manager was stunned and the shopping guides all looked over. Wow, this was the first time they met Sanbao's father and he was so domineering. Why, you don't have any? Jiang Bai looked at the store manager. This concerned his own pocket, so nothing could go wrong. Yes, of course. The store manager had obviously seen a lot of things and quickly came to the cashier. Sir, 50 cans of milk powder, 2,000 yuan each, a total of 100,000 renminbi. Swipe the card. Jiang Bai handed a card to the store manager, and the transaction was completed with a beep. Wife, will 6 cans be enough first? Jiang Bai turned around and asked Liu Ruyan, feeling extremely panicked. Was he considered a traitor to his master? Liu Ruyan's face also turned red. That guy actually called her his wife. But where did he get so much money, 100,000 yuan? Leaving the royal maternity baby flagship store. Jiang Bai, the milk powder order is too much. 100,000 is not a small amount of money. Liu Ruyan said this with a frown. If it was before, she would not care, but now she can hardly even maintain a normal life. This amount of money is nothing. Jiang Bai waved his hand without caring, looking at the beautiful woman in front of him. You worked so hard to give birth to Sanbao, it's what your husband should do. Whose husband are you? Don't talk nonsense tilde. When Liu Ruyan heard Jiang Bai's words, her face turned even redder. In terms of love, she has not reached the level of Xiaobai so far. Ding! Their host has completed the side quest to order milk powder for Sanbao, and will be rewarded with a 100% return of 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan has arrived in my account, which feels pretty good. Go back to the room and put the milk powder away. Teacher Liu, thank you for your hard work this year. Jiang Bai blames himself even more as he sees himself running around because of his children at an age when he should be glamorous. It's fine. Liu Ruyan met Jiang Bai's tender gaze and her face flushed. He was the first person to understand her in the past year. This is my own decision. Even if I hadn't met you, I would have raised them. As she spoke, Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes were determined, and it was obvious that she had intended this from the beginning. Hey tilde. He sighed secretly. What a sin the system has caused. Such a good goddess has been bullied into this state. Host, this system is not responsible for this. You were happier than anyone else when we met that night. The system has the video as proof. Jiang Bai, damn. Dog system, you still have a video tilde. Ding dong tilde. Just then, the doorbell rang. Liu Ruyan comforted the 3 babies and opened the door. Suddenly, a wretched middle-aged man appeared. It was the landlord. Brother landlord, it's you. Feeling the landlord's gaze, Liu Ruyan tightened her clothes, and the landlord, looking at Liu Ruyan's graceful figure, had a gleam in his eyes. Hey, Sister Ruyan. It's due today, and you already owe me 2 months' rent, a total of 3,000 yuan. After a pause, the landlord looked at Liu Ruyan's proud breasts and swallowed his saliva. Of course, if you don't have money, you can pay with your body, and maybe I can even waive your rent for a few months. The landlord had been thinking about Liu Ruyan for a long time. Ever since Liu Ruyan rented his house, he had been waiting for the day. It's so hard to take care of 3 children by yourself, and there's also money for milk powder. If you had agreed to me. As he was speaking, the landlord had already stretched out a big hand, obviously intending to use force. As long as he had the first time, this cold and arrogant professor would be his possession and he could do whatever he wanted with him. Brother landlord, please respect yourself. Hey, self-respect is bullshit. I was deeply attracted to you the first time I saw you. Brother Zhu will love you well later tilde. Liu Ruyan's pretty face changed. Jiang Bai came back to his senses, his face turned cold, and he stepped forward. Bang tilde. Jiang Bai slapped the landlord with a crisp slap, and then kicked him out of the room and hit him hard against the corridor railing. Roll. Blood rushed up his throat, and the landlord was stunned. He knew he was no match for the boy. Damn it, kid, just wait for me. He left in a panic, and after only a few steps he vomited all the food he had eaten at lunch. Asshole, if I don't kill that woman in front of you, I'll take your last name. He stared fiercely at the room where Liu Ruyan was. He didn't expect that there was a man in the room of that stunning beauty. He took out his cell phone and made a call. Hey, guys, come to my place. I'll treat you guys to free chicken. Ho tilde. Seeing the landlord being chased away, Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief. Jiang Bai, thank you. If it weren't for you, I don't know what I would do. Thinking about what had just happened, if the landlord succeeded in doing that to her, she would never be able to forgive herself in her life. Teacher Liu, I'm sorry. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't. Jiang Bai felt even more guilty when he thought of the landlord's expression just now. No need to apologize, it was my choice. Liu Ruyan came to her senses and said that when she decided to give birth to 3 babies, she was already prepared to face all kinds of changes. That's right. Liu Ruyan thought of something. I heard from the neighbors nearby that this landlord has a lot of bad friends. I'm worried about them. Yeah. Hearing Liu Ruyan's words, Jiang Bai narrowed his eyes. If that's the case, then we can just catch them all in one fell swoop. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. Ding! Congratulations to their host for completing their half-day task of taking care of the 3 treasures. Task reward, God-level massage ability. When the system voice fell, Jiang Bai felt that his fingers and memory had undergone obvious changes. Various massage techniques seemed to be imprinted in his mind, and his control over strength was more than 10 times stronger than before. Hiss tilde tilde. At this moment, Liu Ruyan covered her chest with her hands, feeling the pain. It hurts. Teacher Liu, are you okay? When he came back to his senses, he saw Liu Ruyan with frowned brows and asked with concern. Jiang Bai, my chest hurts so much tilde tilde. This. Jiang Bai was also quite panicked when he saw this, but he quickly calmed down. Considering the current situation, Teacher Liu was obviously very powerful, but he couldn't even feed the 3 treasures. Teacher Liu, do you have a lump there? After analysis, Jiang Bai came to a conclusion that Teacher Liu might not have completely started breastfeeding. R tilde. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's face flushed. Because of the intense pain there, she said, how do you know? And the lump is not small. Really? Jiang Bai was sure of it at this moment, and then his face turned red. What about Teacher Liu? In your case, it's probably because you haven't completely started to produce milk. No wonder I said that Teacher Liu was obviously very big, but why was the amount so small? After hearing this, Liu Ruyan wanted to find a hole to crawl into, but when she thought about the fact that she was the reason why the 3 treasures were not enough to eat, she immediately panicked. Jiang Bai, what should we do tilde tilde? Chapter 5. The 3 little guys are in for a treat tilde. Massage, open the milk. Jiang Bai's heartbeat quickened as he said, this. I don't know how to do it. Well, I've learned massage techniques before, so it shouldn't be a problem. He coughed dryly, fearing that Liu Ruyan would misunderstand him. I said this not intentionally to take advantage of Teacher Liu. System, host, you did it on purpose. You are so shameless. Dog system, shut up. Jiang Bai glared at the system. Damn, am I that kind of person? I trust you. Liu Ruyan's face was red. She had been seen by that guy so many times before. She didn't care this time. She unbuttoned her clothes and said, come on. With her beautiful eyes closed, the grandeur of leaving everything to fate was exposed in front of Jiang Bai, who gasped for a moment. The sun was so big and so beautiful. Then, start massaging using massage techniques. The large lumps on both sides were quickly massaged away, and as expected, milk production was successful. This. Feeling the baby's food coming out, Liu Ruyan was startled. Jiang Bai, quickly bring the baby over. Soon, the sucking stopped after the 2 hugs, and Liu Ruyan's shirt was wet, and even Jiang Bai's body was wet. Jiang Bai, I'm sorry. Liu Ruyan's face turned red to the back of her ears. Well, I didn't expect that much. Fine. The 3 little guys are in for a treat tilde tilde. Jiang Bai swallowed his saliva as he said this. His eyes couldn't help but fall on Hongda. Needless to say, he was quite envious of Sanbao. Liu Ruyan glanced at someone and her face turned even redder. Has he been looking at her like this all the time? Should I say it out loud? But won't it be more embarrassing if I said it out loud? I should just pretend I don't know, Liu Ruyan thought to herself with her heart pounding. About a quarter of an hour later. After Sanbao was fed, Liu Ruyan looked at the huge car lights and said, this. Jiang Bai, why did he come out again? Jiang Bai, who was watching, gulped down his saliva. Oh my god, Teacher Liu is so awesome, the quantity is so sufficient. Sanbao fell asleep with his mouth curled up beautifully. I wonder if he was tired from feeding. What a waste. Looking at the baby's food, Jiang Bai murmured, why not? Mu tilde. My god, how could that guy do this? But if he didn't do this, I really don't know what to do. That's all. About 7 or 8 minutes later. Hiccup tilde. Jiang Bai couldn't help but burp. Liu Ruyan couldn't hold back any longer. I'm going to take a shower. Darda took a step and went into the bathroom. She closed the door, her heart beating violently as if it would jump out at any time. Oh my god tilde. What just happened? I am a professor at Jiangnan University, even though that guy is not my student. It's so scary. Jiang Bai looked at the sleeping Sanbao, and then felt his abdomen swell slightly. It's hard to believe, Teacher Liu is able to produce milk like a cheat. Ding! Their host successfully opened up the milk supply for his wife, and was rewarded with $30,000 and god-level cooking skills. Good guy tilde. Help Teacher Liu to start breastfeeding and you will be rewarded with 30,000 yuan, and you will also gain god-level cooking skills. Wow. It feels not bad. Such rewards will naturally bring billions of good deeds in the future. Then he glanced at the sleeping little ones, all of whom were sleeping in a surrender posture, looking very cute, but Dabao and Sanbao kicked off the thin quilt. This little guy can't even sleep well. A look of fatherly love appeared on his face. He did not dare to delay and quickly covered the two little ones. His skillful movements did not show any hesitation. Crash tilde. The bathroom door opened and Liu Ruyan came out in her pajamas. Her hair was disheveled and Jiang Bai froze in place, swallowing his saliva uncontrollably. Jiang Bai, what are you looking at? Liu Ruyan's face flushed a little. She certainly knew what that guy was looking at. Teacher Liu, you are so beautiful. Jiang Bai couldn't help but say this. Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai in a charming voice. No way, stop talking nonsense. I'm telling the truth. He looked at the stunning beauty in front of him with sincere eyes. I swear, Teacher Liu is the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Puff tilde. Seeing Jiang Bai's serious look, Liu Ruyan couldn't help but smile. Then I'll take what you said as the truth. Hey. Jiang Bai touched the back of his head and chuckled. He thought to himself that he couldn't be a good man for 9 generations, because he met such a beautiful wife and she gave birth to 3 babies for him. By the way, Jiang Bai. Liu Ruyan thought of something and said, from now on, you can call me Ruyan. Teacher Liu feels weird. Yeah, okay. Jiang Bai nodded in agreement. Liu Ruyan felt strange, and so did he. Then I will call you Teacher Liu at school, and Ruyan in private. Thinking about the identities of the two, Jiang Bai said this. Good. Liu Ruyan nodded slightly, reaching an agreement. Teacher Liu, Ruyan, let me help you blow dry your hair. Jiang Bai saw the beautiful lady with long black hair and volunteered. Well, all right. Liu Ruyan nodded slightly. Her hair was too long and it was indeed inconvenient to blow dry it by herself. I stroked her long black hair, smelled her pleasant scent, and the hair dryer started working. The breeze blew through my hair, then across my neck, and then. Oh my god! Jiang Bai looked and saw Hongda on both sides. His eyes were wide open at this moment. Teacher Liu was actually wearing vacuum pajamas. Although it looked like there was a thin sponge protecting it from the outside, it was because they were padded pajamas. Broken. Liu Ruyan felt the hot wind blowing past her, her beautiful eyes froze. She wasn't wearing any bar. From that guy's angle, her pajamas were blown up, wouldn't she? Teng's face turned red. Liu Ruyan, how could you make such a low-level mistake? You're doomed. What should I do? Jiang Bai wouldn't think I did it on purpose tilde. So embarrassing. What should I do? Should I stop him from blowing me? But we have just started. Won't it be worse if I stop suddenly? I gritted my teeth and waited until the blow drying was finished. Jiang Bai, thank you. Liu Ruyan felt as if she had been pardoned. Seeing Jiang Bai's reaction, she knew that the guy might have seen her from beginning to end. However, when she finished speaking, she found that Jiang Bai seemed not to have heard it. You are still looking. When Liu Ruyan met the guy's eyes, she naturally knew what he was doing and became very nervous. Oh, tilde. Jiang Bai came back to his senses and saw that he was caught on the spot. He looked out the window and said, the moon is really round tonight. Chapter 6 Buy 1 Get 3 Free, Get Married with a Baby? You? As soon as Jiang Bai finished speaking, Liu Ruyan looked out the window at the approaching night, her face flushed, wondering where the moon was. Could it be that the guy was talking about his place? Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan wanted to escape from the scene in a panic, but at this moment, she felt a strong sense of hunger in her stomach. Hunger hit Liu Ruyan and she felt a little crazy. It was all because that guy had just eaten so much. Ahem, well, I'm going to go buy some groceries and cook. After escaping from the scene and closing the door, Liu Ruyan looked at the three little guys who were still sleeping, and then looked at herself Hongda through her pajamas. At a certain moment, she burst out laughing. I know how to buy food for myself. You are a smart kid. Then, Liu Ruyan looked at the three little guys and thought about what she had experienced today. The three little guys are no longer children without a father. Ding-a-ling tilde. Not long after Jiang Bai left, Liu Ruyan's cell phone rang. When she saw it was her mother calling, her heart skipped a beat. She made sure Sanbao was asleep before going to the balcony to answer the call. Hello, Mom. When the call was connected, Liu's mother's voice came from the other end. Ruyan, have you eaten? Oh, not yet. After looking at Liu Ruyan downstairs, he said guiltily, today is my first day at the new school, and I have a lot of things to deal with. Really? No matter how busy you are, you still have to eat. Mother Liu then said with concern, you have become a university professor at such a young age. There must be a lot of people who are jealous. If you are wronged, tell me and I will take care of it for you. No, Mom, the university president and my colleagues are very nice to me. That's good. Mother Liu nodded in satisfaction, feeling a little relieved, and then changed the subject. By the way, Ruyan, do any of your school colleagues have any good-looking boys? Try to find a boyfriend before the end of the year. You are already grown up and you can't stay single forever. He paused for a moment, then continued, even if my colleagues are too old, we can find a student if it really doesn't work out. Puff tilde. Hearing her mother's words, Liu Ruyan almost choked on her saliva. Mom, what are you talking about? You are still a student. What happened to the students? Mother Liu was unhappy when she heard her daughter's words. Back then, I wasn't a student either, but I still took down the professor who taught me, your father. Liu Ruyan. Listening to her mother's words, Liu Ruyan smiled bitterly. She did get the student and even gave birth to triplets. But the situation is completely different from what my mom had at the beginning tilde. My mom got pregnant before getting married, so what is this for me, buy one get three free, getting married with a baby? Mom, it's not like your daughter can't get married. TSK tilde. Mother Liu rolled her eyes and said, I know what you young people are up to, but don't follow their example of not getting married. If the seniors don't work, we can look for the juniors, sophomores, or if that doesn't work, freshmen. They'll graduate in a few years tilde. Liu Ruyan was completely confused. Her mother had done everything she could to get her married. Mom, am I your biological child? After hanging up the phone, Liu Ruyan had a bitter face as she looked at the three little ones, wondering what their mother's reaction would be if she knew. On the other side, Jiang Bai came back from buying groceries. Hey, boss. Where are you? I haven't seen you all afternoon. As soon as the call was connected, Lin Zifan's voice came from the other end. He originally wanted to have a drink with the boss to celebrate his first day as an assistant coach, and of course, to look for a few pretty girls by the way. After all, it's better to keep the money in the family. Buying groceries. Jiang Bai entered the elevator and spoke while looking at the bags in his hands. Buy groceries. Boss, you're not going to cook some dark food again, are you? Lin Zifan was furious when he heard this. Last time I gave the dark food you made to the wildcats in the school, and since then the wildcats have run away when they see me. Get lost tilde. Jiang Bai laughed and scolded, I made it for your sister-in-law. What? Before Lin Zifan could speak, Wang Kuan and Chen Feng on the side became uneasy. Sister-in-law? Boss, are you sure you're not kidding? Certainly. Jiang Bai sighed, didn't I tell you before that I slept with the new goddess professor? She gave me triplets. Roll. Boss, you can't be so pretentious tilde. Lin Zifan and the other two rolled their eyes. They didn't believe that he had slept with the goddess professor before, let alone that she was pregnant with triplets. I'll be home soon, I won't say any more. Jiang Bai was about to turn off the video, and Lin Zifan was immediately unhappy. Don't, boss. You said the goddess professor gave you triplets, and we don't disbelieve it. Then, can you let us video chat with your sister-in-law? Lin Zifan winked at Wang Kuan and Chen Feng and spoke, and the two of them understood and echoed him. It's the boss. Click. At this time, Jiang Bai opened the door and came in, seeing Liu Ruyan taking care of Sanbao. Ruyan, 3 of my roommates want to see you. Don't worry, they are very tight-lipped and won't let it get out. All right. Liu Ruyan nodded and said, just think of this as a favor for him cooking for her. Jiang Bai smiled and said, come, this is your sister-in-law. As he was talking, the video was facing Liu Ruyan. At this moment, Liu Ruyan, who was wearing pajamas, no longer looked like a goddess with excellent temperament, but had a bit more charm. Hello, sister-in-law. The 3 people who were playing around suddenly had an idea in their minds at this moment and greeted each other in unison. People have seen it, so let's go. After hanging up the video, Jiang Bai smiled at Liu Ruyan, hey, thanks. Fine. By the way, let that guy get some attention. Liu Ruyan would naturally not refuse this. I'm going to cook, you take care of the 3 treasures. After saying that, Jiang Bai put on the pink apron that Liu Ruyan wore and started busying himself in the kitchen, cooking very quickly. Soon, the aroma of food wafted into the air. Gurgled Tilda. Liu Ruyan, who was already extremely hungry, protested even more when she smelled the delicious food. All right. The dining table was filled with dishes. Sweet and sour carp, braised pig's trotters, candied sweet potatoes, fried chicken with mushrooms, Wensi tofu soup, sour potato shreds. Liu Ruyan took a bite of the dish and it tasted delicious and left a long aftertaste. Oh Tilda. Jiang Bai, you are such a good cook. Liu Ruyan looked at Jiang Bai with surprise. Her cooking skills were not even at the entry level compared to his. Yeah. It's delicious, so eat more. Liu Ruyan is now eating 4 meals a day, and Jiang Bai is hoping that she will finish all the dishes so that the 3 little ones can have a good meal. Chapter 7 I swear that now I am teacher Liu's only woman. Hiccup Tilda. About half an hour later, Liu Ruyan burped contentedly, I haven't eaten this full in a long time. I feel like I'm going to get fat if I keep going this way. Liu Ruyan had just recovered her figure after giving birth, and she spoke with some concern. It's good to be fat. Jiang Bai looked at Liu Ruyan, who was in great shape, and said, if I gain weight, I will have fewer rivals in love. Fat Tilda. I didn't realize you were quite good at teasing people. Liu Ruyan's face flushed slightly, I must have flirted with many girls like this before. No way, I swear now I am only teacher Liu's woman. Now. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Liu Ruyan narrowed her eyes, in other words, you had a girlfriend before, right? For some reason, Liu Ruyan felt a little uncomfortable after hearing this and asked a question to get to the bottom of it. Jiang Bai broke out in a sweat after hearing this. Damn, playing tricks with a goddess professor who has an online IQ, it's really stressful tilde. Just 2. Jiang Bai coughed dryly and said that although their relationship had not been confirmed, because of the 3 little ones, how could they have no relationship in the future? But don't worry, Mr. Liu. We can just hold hands at most. Ding-a-ling tilde. Not long after dinner, Jiang Bai's cell phone rang. When Liu Ruyan saw the call, her heart jumped into her throat because it was Jiang Bai's mother calling. Hello, Mom. Seeing Liu Ruyan's nervous look, Jiang Bai curled his lips and answered the phone. Smelly boy, where are you? Last time you mentioned staying in school as a teaching assistant, has that been finalized? The first thing she said was a special greeting from her real mother, I'm telling you, find me a decent job as soon as possible. I'll ask your Aunt Wang to introduce you to a blind date. I'm sure you'll look like me, but your abilities are just like your father's, not very promising. After listening to the scolding, Liu Ruyan had to hold back her laughter. It was obvious that this was her biological mother, and she was as unforgiving as her own mother when she spoke. Mom. Am I as bad as you say? Jiang Bai coughed dryly. After all, the goddess professor's wife was beside him, so he had to show some face to her. Get lost. Jiang's mother's voice came from the phone, you are my son, I don't even know how much you are worth. Hey tilde. Listening to his mother's nagging, Jiang Bai sighed, and then thought of something, oh, right, Mom. I'm going to tell you something, don't be angry. Thinking about the affairs of the 3 little ones here, I will have to let my parents know in the future, so I might as well take this opportunity to tell my mother first. What the hell are you doing again, kid? Jiang's mother blurted out. It was obvious that Jiang Bai had caused her a lot of trouble in the past. Mom, you're a grandmother now. Ignoring Jiang's mother's words, Jiang Bai went straight to the point, but this remark caused Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes to widen. Jiang Bai, you are crazy. She had no choice but to do so. She had endured so much hardship and kept it a secret from everyone over the past year, and this guy came clean to his mother on the first day. Don't worry, I know what's going on. Jiang Bai comforted Liu Ruyan, and it turned out to be true. What? Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Jiang's mother was stunned. I'm a grandmother now, you can't joke with me, brat. Don't use this as an excuse not to go on a blind date, or I'll break your legs. Hey, Mom, this is real. I'll take a video to show you. After that, Jiang Bai hung up the phone, recorded a video of the family of 5 and sent it to his mother. What? Jiang's mother in the office looked at the video her son sent her. She stood up and stared at the screen. Wow, 3 babies in 1 pregnancy. Besides, the daughter-in-law that brat found is so pretty. Ding dong tilde. Soon, Jiang Bai received a WeChat message from his mother. You little bastard, you are not the one who will take over, right? Jiang Bai, Mom, am I that kind of person? Teacher Liu and I had sex a year ago, but it's not my fault. His tilde. Looking at the message sent by her son, Jiang's mother took a deep breath and said, You are really amazing. You gave me 3 grandchildren. Luckily you didn't become a scumbag, otherwise I would have destroyed you. Jiang's mother typed domineeringly, but soon realized something. Wrong. You little brat, you said Teacher Liu, is my wife a teacher? As Jiang's mother typed, the numerous documents on her desk suddenly lost their appeal. Hey, you may not believe it, but Ruyan is a professor at our school. She is the counselor of the class I am teaching assistant to, and she is only 25 years old this year. 25 years old, university professor? Counselor of my son's teaching assistant class. After watching her son's simple description of what happened, Jiang's mother finally understood. What did you say? You are such a heartless person. The goddess professor gave birth to 3 babies for you, and you just found out about it today. Jiang's mother suddenly had the urge to beat her scumbag son to death. Send me your address and I'll book a ticket right away. Say one more word, and I'll sever the mother-son relationship with you. After finishing typing, Jiang's mother took a deep breath and looked towards the distance of Yancheng. Ha tilde. At a certain moment, I laughed happily, saying that I also have a grandson. And, they are triplets, that brat is quite capable. The sound traveled through the room to the ears of the company's employees, and they all murmured. Oh my god, what's wrong with Manager Lin? Did they sign a big contract? But it shouldn't be that serious. Don't gossip. If Manager Lin finds out, he will definitely deduct your bonus. Many employees gossiped for a while and then dared not say more. It can be seen that Jiang's mother has a high reputation in the company. On the other side, the room in Xuanwu community. R tilde. Seeing Jiang Bai send the address, Liu Ruyan's heart tightened. Jiang Bai, you sent the address to Auntie. Rest assured. Jiang Bai didn't care. Although my mother is harsh in words, she loves me the most in her heart. But, this is too fast tilde. Liu Ruyan became inexplicably nervous. She was totally unprepared. Ding! The host has triggered a random mission. You will stay in your wife's room tonight to look after the 3 treasures. Mission reward, a villa in Xuanwu Villa. Xuanwu Villa. Jiang Bai was stunned when he heard this word. My goodness, Xuanwu Villa is a famous villa complex in Jiangnan, and it costs at least tens of millions. That. Liu Ruyan saw that it was already dark outside and it was pitch black. Her face turned slightly red. Jiang Bai, it's getting late. How about we stay here tonight? After saying this, Liu Ruyan couldn't help but think of that night a year ago, and her heart rose to her throat. This is fine. Listening to Liu Ruyan's words, Jiang Bai shamelessly agreed. He didn't want to live here, but wanted to find a bigger house for his goddess professor wife and Sanbao to live in. He could not accept any objection to this. Chapter 8 Ruyan baby, don't miss your husband tilde. In the room, Sanbao was sleeping soundly. Liu Ruyan tossed and turned, unable to sleep. After all, she was going to meet Jiang Bai's mother tomorrow, so it would be strange if she could fall asleep. R tilde. At a certain moment, Liu Ruyan came back to her senses and saw that her pajamas were soaked. Her pretty face was in a panic. Jiang Bai, hurry up, the rations are out again. What? Jiang Bai, who was half asleep, heard the sound and looked over. He was shocked to see the baby's food spurting out, and there was more than during the day. Oh my god! Could it be that the dishes cooked during the day are all milk-producing dishes? Immediately, Amy ate the baby's food in one mouthful. Liu Ruyan stared at the skilled guy in a daze. She wanted to say something but saw Sanbao, who was sleeping soundly, and finally swallowed it. Hey tilder. Let him be. Anyway, I've already seen it and touched it, so it doesn't matter a little bit, Liu Ruyan thought. A quarter of an hour later, Jiang Bai felt a bloating pain in his abdomen, and he burped 2 or 3 times before he felt better. Liu Ruyan also felt better, and then she said embarrassedly, well, Jiang Bai, I'm sorry, I didn't know there would be so many. Next time, if you can't finish it, it's okay to waste some. Liu Ruyan's face was full of apology. She was worried when there was less before, and she was even more worried now that there was more. Since Sanbao couldn't finish it, she had to let Jiang Bai eat it. That won't work. Jiang Bai didn't care, these are all great supplements, it would be a shame to waste them. The next day, early morning. The golden morning light poured onto her beautiful face, and she struggled to wake up from her sleepy eyes. Liu Ruyan slept very well yesterday, and Sanbao didn't make much noise. Maybe it's because he was full, and he had a cute smile on his face when he was sleeping, which was so adorable. Where's Jiang Bai Ren? He didn't sleep all night, did he? Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan blamed herself. She slept so soundly that she forgot about him, but it was good to have him around. Ding! Their host has completed the task of living in his wife's room and taking care of the 3 treasures, and has obtained a villa in Longhu Villa. Jiang Bai was busy preparing breakfast in the kitchen when he heard the system's voice. Jiang Bai raised his lips and touched the villa key in his pocket. Now that I have a house, I don't have to bother with that wretched landlord. He glanced at the extremely simply decorated room and said, we should move as soon as possible. Jiang Bai, you are cooking. While she was thinking, a pleasant voice came over. Liu Ruyan smelled the delicious aroma of the food and her stomach growled in protest, causing her face to turn red. Well, I'm sorry for yesterday. I'm sleeping so soundly, why don't you go get some sleep? Thinking that there was only one bed in the room, Liu Ruyan felt dizzy. Aunt Wang had always slept on the floor before, and Liu Ruyan felt very guilty about it. However, Jiang Bai naturally couldn't let him sleep on the floor, so he could only let him sleep in his own bed. Fine. I have thick skin and flesh, so it doesn't matter if I'm a little tired. Jiang Bai smiled slightly and said nonchalantly, as long as you sleep well. Listening to Jiang Bai's words, Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes rippled. As long as she slept well, it was enough, but few people cared about her like this. It's time to eat while it's hot. At this time, Jiang Bai had already prepared a table full of breakfast. Looking at this scene, Liu Ruyan suddenly felt much more relaxed than before she met Jiang Bai. Ding dong tilde. After eating breakfast for a while, Liu Ruyan received a message from the school. Broken. The freshmen are going to be issued military training uniforms today, but how can I leave? After seeing the news, Liu Ruyan frowned, because she still had to take care of Sanbao. Military training uniform. After hearing this, Jiang Bai said, Teacher Liu, oh no, Ruyan, how about? I can go to school by myself. You go by yourself, this is not good, right? When Liu Ruyan heard this, she became a little worried, after all, she had just arrived at school. It's okay, the freshmen are just given military training uniforms. Jiang Bai waved his hands. This was an easy task for him. Jiang Bai, thank you. Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief. Although they had only known each other for 1 day, she had troubled Jiang Bai too much. Sambo? Myself? And the school? For a moment, Liu Ruyan even felt that she was useless. Hey, how is Mr. Liu going to thank me tilde? Feeling that Liu Ruyan was in a bad mood, Jiang Bai joked with a sly smile, why not? Teacher Liu, let me give you a kiss. Are you? Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Liu Ruyan's face flushed. She looked at the table full of dishes and the things she was busy with, well, okay. Liu Ruyan put down her bowl and chopsticks, closed her beautiful eyes, and waited for someone to kiss her. She looked particularly charming under the golden sunlight. Just kidding, Ruyan baby, don't miss your husband Tilda. Liu Ruyan opened her beautiful eyes, only to see Jiang Bai already at the door. Before she could say anything, Jiang Bai closed the door, leaving Liu Ruyan standing there in a daze. That guy kissed himself, he didn't kiss me even after I told him to. Really Tilda. But, he calls himself Ruyan baby. Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan couldn't help but recall the scenes of yesterday day and night, and her face turned red. How so? Liu Ruyan found that her heart was beating like a deer, and the guy's image was in her mind. I can't be falling in love with him. It's only been one day. It should be because of the three treasures, not because of love. Yes, that's definitely the case Tilda. Driving an extended version of the Porsche 718, we headed all the way to Jiangnan University. This pushback feeling, worthy of being a Porsche, wow Tilda. Feeling the breeze outside the car window, Jiang Bai felt like he was dreaming. The scenes of yesterday appeared in front of his eyes like a movie. He couldn't imagine that he had taken so many advantages of the goddess professor, and they even gave birth to 3 babies. Oh Tilda. He took a deep breath, perfect life system. The peak of life is within reach. Thinking about the distribution of military training uniforms to freshmen today, Jiang Bai called Lin Zifan. Hey, Lao Lin. Today, the new students are getting their military uniforms. Teacher Liu is at home watching over Sanbao. You 3 can come and help. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Bai had already seen Jiangnan University from afar. Nowadays, they didn't go to school much and were all rushing to defend their thesis, so the 3 of them had plenty of time. Jiangnan University, dormitory. Fuck. 3rd brother, 4th brother, hurry up, the eldest brother has returned to school. Lin Zifan stood up straight as if he had been resurrected from the dead, and his scream woke up Wan Kuan and Chen Feng. What? The boss is back from spending the night with the goddess professor, damn. They washed up quickly, which took no more than 5 minutes. And there were 3 of them, so the scene was in chaos for a while. Chapter 9 Boss, those girls in short skirts seem to be looking at me. Squeaked Tilda. As soon as Lin Zifan and the other 2 went downstairs, they heard the emergency brake sound of the extended Porsche. Their attention was immediately drawn to it, and even other students passing by looked over. Fuck, a stretched Porsche 718. This line is definitely a high-end version, at least more than 2 million Tilda. Damn, could it be that the 2nd generation has come to school Tilda. Pushing the door and getting out of the car, Jiang Bai appeared in everyone's sight, and Lin Zifan and the other 2 widened their eyes. What? Boss Tilda. The 3 people were dumbfounded and hurried over. Oh my god, boss, you actually drive such a luxurious car. Could it be that this is my sister-in-law's? The 3 of them discussed in their hearts that compared to their own boss, they would rather believe that it was the goddess professor, but they didn't know how they would feel if they knew that the goddess professor they were talking about was riding an electric scooter. Get lost. He rolled his eyes at the 3 people and said, this car is mine. One thing I didn't tell you is that I won the lottery a week ago. Lin Zifan and the other 2. Win the lottery. The 3 of them looked at their boss suspiciously. Wow, no wonder the boss was not nervous after he and the goddess professor had triplets. It turns out the boss has the ability to do so. Fuck, you stole my pickled mustard the day before yesterday. Wan Kuan lost his composure. Thinking about what happened the day before yesterday, tears started to flow. Well, I can't show my money to others. Jiang Bai thought about what to say and responded with a dry cough. Wan Kuan, %hashat. Boss, you are so shameless. Lin Zifan and Chen Feng looked at each other. The boss was not an ordinary coward, although they had snatched the new socks bought by the boss to wear before. Stop being poor. Get in the car. I'll take you to the freshman class. After Lin Zifan and the other 2 got in the car, they looked at the interior and were quite excited. My god, they were also people who had ridden in luxury cars before. Fuck, is that Senior Jiang Bai? Wow, the top-of-the-line Porsche 718 costs at least 2 million Tilda. I just heard that Senior Jiang Bai seems to have won the lottery, TSK. Oh my god, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket too, just in case I win Tilda. Students in small groups chatted and complained, and some even took photos of the Porsche 718 and sent them to the school communication group. Boss, you can do this. Extended version, it just so happens that the goddess professor's sister-in-law and 3 nephews-nieces can sit together. Lin Zifan said with emotion. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng touched every interior part with curiosity. That's right, boss. Wang Kuan thought about something. How much did you win in the lottery to buy such an expensive car? Not much, just 100 million. Jiang Bai said this. After all, with the operation of the system, it is estimated that his worth will exceed this number soon. You know, the Longhu Villa alone is worth more than 10 million. Fut tilde. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Lin Zifan and the others almost spat out a mouthful of saliva. Fuck, 100 million. As they were talking, the 4 of them came to the teaching assistant's freshman classroom. Hello, boss. As soon as he arrived at the venue, more than a dozen fellow students greeted him respectfully, which was quite impressive. Hey tilde. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng smiled at each other. This kind of pomp and circumstance was quite good. Boss, these are all junior students from the Taekwondo Association. They have admired your name for a long time. See. This is my boss's car. Wang Kuan patted the extended version of the Porsche 718 beside him and said in a very coquettish tone that he would not miss such a great opportunity to show off. Wow tilde. At this moment, many students in the freshman classroom were stunned. Senior Jiang Bai is here. So handsome, and he drives a stretched Porsche 718. It turns out that the senior is a rich second generation. So handsome and rich, I like him so much, boohoo tilde tilde. But why didn't Goddess Ruyan come? The girls in particular had stars in their eyes, and their gazes were focused on Jiang Bai. Lin Zifan and the other 2 straightened their backs involuntarily. Hey, boss, those girls in short skirts seem to be looking at me. Lin Zifan spoke with a smile that almost reached his ears, and Wang Kuan and Chen Feng cast contemptuous glances at him. What a look! Those girls are clearly looking at us tilde tilde. Jiang Bai saw the 3 people complaining and shook his head slightly. Next, we need to distribute military training uniforms to the juniors. Who of you will go? Did you hear that? Seeing this, Wang Kuan exchanged a glance with Chen Feng and said, hurry up and get the military training uniforms for the juniors. Old 4, tell me about the measurements of this school girl. Oh no, her clothing size. Okay, I'm good at this. Of course Chen Feng would not refuse, and the 2 of them began to count the girl's measurements openly. Clothing size. Old 3, old 4, can you be a little more shameless? Wait for me tilde tilde. Lin Zifan hurried over. How could he let the 3rd and 4th brothers do such strenuous work? On the podium, Jiang Bai looked at the students in the classroom. Dear juniors, Teacher Liu has something urgent to do today, so I will be in charge of distributing the military training uniforms. In addition, their half-month military training for freshmen will begin tomorrow. Talking about the tasks in school, the freshmen immediately started howling in agony. The military training for freshmen is said to be a nightmare that will make them lose their skin. Okay, next, Lao Lin, distribute the military training uniforms to the younger students. Okay. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. When Lin Zifan heard the boss issuing an important task, his eyes sparkled. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng also helped. As for the Taekwondo Association's tools, they had already been dismissed by Wang Kuan and the other 2. Just kidding, it would be better for them to do this kind of thing themselves. Senior, is military training tiring? A sweet-looking freshman girl asked Lin Zifan, which made Lin Zifan's heart jump. It's okay, you just need to get used to it in the first few days. Junior, come at me on WeChat. If you don't understand anything at school, just tell the seniors. Lin Zifan patted his chest and said this, which made Wang Kuan and Chen Feng beside him feel jealous, but they soon aimed at the target and also flirted with him. Oh, he even asked for WeChat. Jiang Bai saw that the 3 guys were not surprised at all and thought that he was helping them. Wang Yundao, Long Xiaoyun. Is it okay for you to be responsible for the daily affairs of the boys and girls respectively from now on? After checking their resumes, Jiang Bai selected 2 people to be responsible for the male god and female god, so that he could spend more time with the goddess professor and take care of the 3 little ones. Yer tilde. Long Xiaoyun, who was talking to Lin Zifan, heard that she was in charge of the girls and said, "No, no problem, Senior Jiang Bai. That's fine with me too." Huang Yundao also spoke excitedly. After all, he would definitely learn more skills by following such a handsome and wealthy teaching assistant. Besides, there were so many girls who liked him, so he was not afraid of not being able to find a girlfriend. "Okay, from now on you will be the class monitors for both boys and girls." Upon hearing Jiang Bai's appointment, Huang Yundao and Long Xiaoyun felt a tightness in their hearts, and secretly decided that they must not let Senior Jiang Bai down. Now that the two tools have been selected, Jiang Bai can feel much more relaxed. When Lin Zifan heard what the boss said, he was filled with gratitude. This way he would have more opportunities to interact with the sweet girl. He, boss, you are so kind. I will remember this. Chapter 10 Sister-in-law, how about making the boss kneel on a durian tonight? Leave the classroom. Hey, boss, I love you so much. Lin Zifan excitedly rushed towards Jiang Bai, but Jiang Bai dodged skillfully. HMPH tilde. I just got the WeChat of the class beauty who is the boss's assistant. What's there to be proud of? Wang Kuan and Chen Feng snorted and said, while Lin Zifan said proudly, "You two know nothing. My Xiaoyun was voted by the school forum as one of the top for freshman campus beauties. Hey, I will have a campus beauty's girlfriend in the future tilde. What? Is this true?" After hearing Lin Zifan's words, Wang Kuan and Chen Feng felt even more jealous, but they couldn't help but comfort themselves when they thought that the schoolgirl they added on WeChat was also the most beautiful girl in the class and department. Hey, boss. Where do we go next? Lin Zifan's admiration for Jiang Bai is like an endless torrent of water, and he asked curiously. Of course I'll go back and look after the three treasures. He rolled his eyes at Lin Zifan. Now he is a father. R tilde. So, we can meet my sister-in-law in person. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng widened their eyes and became excited for a moment. Even Lin Zifan was full of anticipation. After all, the goddess professor was of much better quality than the potential school beauty he had flirted with. That's right. Soon Lin Zifan thought of an important thing. Boss, stop the ATM now. It's the first time we meet our oldest nephew and two nieces, so we can't go empty-handed. You have to give me a gift for meeting me. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng looked at each other and said, the second brother finally said something reliable. Fuck, when did I become unreliable? Have you ever been reliable? Seeing this, Jiang Bai nodded in agreement. It's true. Boss, you. When Lin Zifan heard what Jiang Bai said, he vomited 3 liters of blood. He couldn't play it like this. Didn't he trick them into being late for class before, and then used their meal cards to eat? As roommates, wasn't this what he should do? Half an hour later. Xuanwu Community, in the room. Click. After opening the door, Jiang Bai came in from outside, followed by Lin Zifan and 3 others carrying large and small bags. It was the first time he met his goddess professor sister-in-law, and he would be lying if he said he didn't feel any pressure. But the eldest brother is also awesome. He made the goddess professor pregnant and even gave birth to triplets. Ruyan, my roommates came to see the little guy. Oh, okay, wait a minute. In the room, Liu Ruyan was tidying up quickly and changed into formal clothes. After all, she couldn't wear pajamas in front of Jiang Bai's classmates. Looking at Hongda, Liu Ruyan frowned slightly, because her previous clothes were too small because of feeding the little guy. Soon, the door of the room opened. Gulp tilde. She was wearing a shirt and a burgundy miniskirt. Her delicate face made the 3 of them swallow their saliva. My god, the goddess professor was so beautiful, even more charming than in the photos and videos. Oh my god, boss, what a shameless thing did you do a year ago? Meet sister-in-law. With such emotion in their hearts, they did not dare to slack off in their actions, but they acted like a student meeting a teacher, which made the 3 of them feel like being fucked by a dog. Hello. Liu Ruyan entertained him generously. Lin Zifan coughed dryly and said, well, sister-in-law, these are some supplements I bought for you. We are 3 grown men, and we don't know what you like, teacher Liu. After getting acquainted with each other for a while, Lin Zifan and the other 2 were very upset when they saw Liu Ruyan, who was completely different from the goddess professor in their impression. That's right. Just now their boss called the goddess Professor Ruyan. It seems that the boss and the goddess sister-in-law get along well. Ahem, sister-in-law. These are my nephews and nieces, right tilde tilde. Lin Zifan rubbed his hands and came to the direction of the three little guys. Looking at the cute little guys lined up in a row, Lin Zifan and the other two smacked their lips, feeling extremely envious. At that moment, the three of them even thought of a name for their child. Here, this is the gift your Uncle Lin gave you. As he spoke, Lin Zifan took out 3 big festive red envelopes from his pocket. He couldn't be stingy since it was their first meeting. Sister-in-law, 1,000 yuan for a little one, don't think it's too little. After a pause, she said, wait until I am on the list of rich women. Oh no, wait until I make money and then give my 3 nephews and nieces a big red envelope. Get out of the way, second brother. Before Lin Zifan could finish his words, he was pushed aside by the third brother. Hey, nephew and niece, I'm your Uncle Wang. Come on, call me uncle. Wang Kuan was teasing the 3 little guys, which made Liu Ruyan curl her lips. It can be seen that these 3 people have a good relationship with Jiang Bai, otherwise they would not be so generous. Although 1,000 yuan per little one is not a lot, since they are all unemployed, this is already a huge expense. Fuck tilde. My eldest nephew and 2 nieces are only 2 months old. They can't speak a word. Chen Feng came over. After all, there is a hierarchy of seniority, otherwise he would have kicked Lin Zifan and the other 2 away. I am your most handsome Uncle Chen. Yes, the kind that is 10 times more handsome than your first 2 uncles. When Lin Zifan and the other man heard this, they were furious. This kid really deserves to be punished. In front of my sister-in-law, I'll give you some face. When we go back, I'll let you know that flowers are red in a different way tilde tilde. Puff tilde. After hearing this, Liu Ruyan laughed and said, Jiang Bai, your 3 roommates are quite interesting. Yeah. Jiang Bai agreed with his professor's wife's words, these 3 are quite reliable at critical moments, but they are just 3 idiots at other times. Swish tilde. 3 eyes fell on Jiang Bai. Boss, don't think we won't beat you up just because your sister-in-law is here. Well, that. I said, you 3 are all more handsome than the other tilde tilde. Upon hearing this, Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai. This guy was really talking nonsense. To be honest, these 4 people really had similar interests, but this kind of relationship was quite enviable. TSK tilde. The 3 of them looked down on Jiang Bai, thinking of giving him some face in front of his sister-in-law. Sister-in-law, you have to make the decision for us. The 3 of us gave the little guy a welcome gift of less than 10,000 yuan. The boss treated us like this. Make him kneel on the durian tonight. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng glared at their boss fiercely. When Liu Ruyan heard this, the scene of Jiang Bai kneeling on a durian in front of her emerged in her mind, and her face turned red. Lin Zifan thought for a moment, forget about durian, I think. It would be better to let the boss kneel on the keyboard and type out the 3 words I got wrong. Get lost tilde tilde. Jiang Bai glared at the 3 of them, who were getting more and more outrageous as they spoke. You're in for a treat today. I'll show you my cooking skills. Fuck tilde. When Lin Zifan heard this, his eyelids twitched wildly, and Wang Kuan and the others fell to chill. Boss, you're not going to make dark food again, are you? Guldu swallowed his saliva and Lin Zifan revealed his secret. Last time I gave the dark food you made to a wildcat, and since then the wildcat has been running away screaming as if it saw a ghost when it saw me. Chapter 11. Boss, do you think this is the only immoral thing you have done? Dark cuisine. Jiang Bai then thought of the fried pork with peppers he had made before. It looked normal, but the peppers were the Indian devil peppers, also known as the soul-breaking peppers, which Jiang Bai had specially bought online. But he didn't expect that the devil pepper was so spicy. After Lin Zifan and his friends took a bite, they drank 2 or 3 liters of water. From then on, they had a traumatic impression of Jiang Bai's cooking skills. However, he didn't expect that Lin Zifan would feed it to the wild cats. That night, all the wild cats in the school went crazy, making non-stop noises and disturbing him so much that he couldn't sleep well. Well, you can't blame me. I didn't know the pepper was so spicy. Jiang Bai coughed dryly, and some scene seemed to emerge in Liu Ruyan's mind. She didn't expect that guy to have such an embarrassing thing. It felt quite interesting. TSK tilde. Hearing what the boss said, Lin Zifan and the other 2 were unhappy. Boss, do you think this is the only immoral thing you have done? Sister-in-law, you don't know what the boss did. Lin Zifan found someone to complain to and said, at first, the boss and I slept next to each other. We bought the same socks, and the boss replaced my washed socks with his worn socks. It made me suspect that I had athlete's foot. Yeah, and sister-in-law, the boss used up all the money in my meal card last time and lied that he picked it up outside. And once more. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng dug up the boss's dark history with great relish, which was totally inconsistent with his image as the campus hunk of Jiangnan University. The more Liu Ruyan listened, the more surprised she became. It turned out that guy had such a side. Hey, I say you three are ready. Jiang Bai was immediately unhappy, feeling that his image was completely destroyed in front of the professor's wife. Don't force me to do anything ruthless and tell you about your embarrassing stories. Lin Zifan and the other two said, oh. What boss? It was a slip of the tongue. I won't say any more. Tilder. Lin Zifan and the other two were tactful enough to shut their mouths. After all, their embarrassing moments were even more embarrassing than the eldest brother's. By the way, sister-in-law. Lin Zifan thought of something at some point and rubbed his hands in anticipation. Well, sister-in-law, do you have an older sister or a younger sister? Aha! Wang Kuan and Chen Feng's eyes lit up and they nodded their heads like chicks pecking at rice. The professor's sister-in-law was so beautiful, her family genes must be super strong, and her sisters must be beautiful women as well. If that doesn't work, my cousins can also do it. Ding dong tilde. As the three were asking, the doorbell rang. Liu Ruyan opened the door. Beautiful professor, here I come again tilde. The person who came was none other than the wretched landlord, but there were 4 or 5 of his friends beside him. It was obvious that they had received a call from the landlord and came to eat PUBG for free. After his gaze fell on Liu Ruyan's graceful figure, his eyes sparkled. Wow, the quality is quite high. Especially the grandness made for 5 people swallow their saliva and they couldn't wait to have a go. Why are you here again? Liu Ruyan's pretty face turned cold. The room was full of students at the moment. If something happened, it would be disastrous. Moreover, it was obvious that these people had bad intentions. Hey, why am I here? Of course I want to have some fun with this beautiful lady tilde. 4 or 5 of her friends grinned and with lustful looks on their faces, they surrounded Liu Ruyan. Oh my gosh tilde. Boss, are these people looking for trouble? Lin Zifan narrowed his eyes when he saw the scene. Leave these bastards to the 3 of us. Be careful. Jiang Bai glanced at the ignorant and shameless landlord. Last time he said he would catch them all in one fell swoop, but he didn't expect that they would be here so soon. Rest assured. It's been a while since I last warmed up. 3rd and 4th brothers, are you okay? Lin Zifan glanced at Wang Kuan and the other man. If it doesn't work, you guys go ahead and I'll go ahead myself. Jiang Bai, they. Liu Ruyan was stunned. She obviously didn't expect that Lin Zifan and the other two would fight with these ferocious people. Rest assured. Since Lao Lin and the others are here, I don't have to do anything. Jiang Bai glanced at the scene and said, hurry up and finish it. Your sister-in-law and I will be waiting for you with breakfast. Damn, this kid is looking for death. When the wretched landlord saw that he was being ignored, he immediately became furious and rushed towards Liu Ruyan. Bang! Before he could get close, Lin Zifan kicked him to the ground. 4 or 5 of his friends rushed over when they saw this. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng were the elites of the Taekwondo club. Bang bang tilde. In just a few moves, everyone, including the wretched landlord, was easily crushed. Lin Zifan slapped the wretched landlord to the ground with a palm. With this little strength, you are imitating others to break into houses and commit crimes. Then Lin Zifan made a phone call. Hello, brother. There was a home invasion in room 602, building 8, Xuanwu Community. Bring someone here. I'm fine. After hanging up the phone, Lin Zifan looked at the wretched landlord and said, under normal circumstances, I would just teach you a lesson, but you shouldn't have set your sights on my sister-in-law. You heard it, my eldest brother is the captain of the Jiangnan Criminal Division. I promise that my eldest brother will investigate your ancestors for 18 generations. As for how many years you will be in prison, that depends on your luck tilde. After Lin Zifan finished speaking, he asked the busy boss for credit. Hey, boss, am I doing okay? Not bad. After a pause, Jiang Bai continued, wait for your elder brother to come and have dinner together. Okay. Lin Zifan chuckled, come to think of it, my elder brother has mentioned you in my ear countless times. More than 10 minutes later, Lin Chaofan came to the scene and saw a familiar figure. Zifan, you guys are all here. You are the ones who committed the crime. Seeing that his brother was involved, Lin Chaofan naturally would not evade the issue. Come here, bring all these people back and interrogate them for all their crimes. Don't let any of them go. Yes, Captain Lin. At that moment, more than a dozen staff members forced the pale and wretched landlord out of the room, while his 4 or 5 cronies were all stunned. Har har, long time no see, Xiao Jiang. After the group left, Lin Chaofan smiled at Jiang Bai, but when he saw Liu Ruyan, he was stunned. Who is this? Hey tilde. Seeing this, Lin Zifan hurriedly stepped forward to introduce, brother, this is our sister-in-law, the goddess professor of Jiangnan University. She and our eldest brother gave birth to triplets. Well. Lin Chaofan was stunned for a moment, then gave Jiang Bai a thumbs up. Xiao Jiang, you're awesome. Hello, sister-in-law tilde. With a smile on his face, Lin Chaofan no longer looked upright, and looked more like an elder brother. By the way, Xiao Jiang, where are my 3 nephews? Then Lin Chaofan came to the room of the 3 little guys. After a private chat with Lin Zifan, Lin Chaofan took out his wallet. I came in a hurry and don't have a red envelope, so just give me the money. Then, he placed 1,000 yuan next to each of the 3 little guys. These 3 little guys are so cute. Come, call me Uncle Tilde. Chapter 12. Well, Jiang Bai, why don't you eat it? Tilde. After Lin Chaofan exchanged some pleasantries, he smelled the tempting aroma of food on the table. I've been busy all morning, and I'm a little hungry. Hey. Brother, the boss said that you have to eat with us today. As he spoke, he pointed to the dining table and said, look, your dishes and chopsticks are all set. We are family, so I won't be polite. After sitting down, Lin Chaofan took a bite of the dish and said, wow, this cooking skill. Xiaojiang is really good. Dark cuisine. However, this fragrance and my brother's reaction are not right. Lin Zifan and the other 2 hesitated for a moment, but still took a bite with the mentality of giving it a try, and said, Boss, this. You cooked the dish, my dear. Definitely, a delicacy on earth. The 3 of them immediately had their taste buds whetted. What the hell, what a dark dish. If this was dark dish, they could eat it for the rest of their lives. After 3 rounds of meals, Lin Chaofan was filled with emotion when he knew the current situation of Jiang Bai and the others. He didn't expect that there was such a past. Xiao Jiang, although I arrested the landlord and his group, there may be more trouble in the future. How about I help you find a safe neighborhood and move away from here? Move place. Liu Ruyan's heart jumped into her throat when she heard this. It wasn't that she didn't want to move, but moving would definitely cost a lot of money. Brother, why are you still looking for something? Why don't you just buy a villa? When Lin Zifan heard this, he spoke nonchalantly. Yes. Wang Kuan echoed, boss is not short of money now. Not short of money. Lin Chaofan was a little confused when he heard the 2 people singing the same tune. Seeing this, Chen Feng smiled slightly. Brother Chaofan, you don't know yet. Boss, he won 100 million in the lottery. After a pause, Chen Feng continued, did you see the extended version of the Porsche 718 downstairs when you came here? That was the boss. This is real. When Liu Ruyan heard Chen Feng's words, she looked at Jiang Bai beside her with disbelief in her beautiful eyes. Seeing this scene, Jiang Bai was as steady as an old dog. Indeed, it was a while ago. I wanted to give you a surprise. Brother Chaofan, I won't bother you with accommodation. Jiang Bai then took out a black and gold card and said, I bought a villa in Longhu Villa and plan to move there today. Har. Lin Zifan and the other 2 were shocked when they heard this. Damn, Longhu Villa. Boss, I am not dreaming, that is at least tens of millions. Boss, you are a bit too wasteful tilde. Lin Chaofan was also stunned after hearing this. Wow, this little river in Longhu Villa is not something that can be built easily. Har, if that's the case, that's good. After lunch, a few rough guys packed up and loaded up an extended version of the Porsche 718. Xiaojiang, go take care of your brother and sister-in-law. I'll take some of them back to school. Lin Chaofan winked at his two younger brothers and asked them to get into the police car. Wang Kuan and the other two were feeling nervous. Oh my god, riding in a police car back to school, this is such an incredible treatment. Go back to the room and close the door. Jiang Bai, are they gone? Liu Ruyan asked with a slightly dizzy face, and Jiang Bai nodded. Tilde. He took a deep breath and quickly unbuttoned his shirt. Hurry, it's so bloated, hurry up and feed Sanbao. Oh, okay. Jiang Bai, who was pushing Sanbao out, saw a grand scene in front of him, but Liu Ruyan did not pay attention to the dazed Jiang Bai. Hurry up. In this way, after the two little babies were full, they gave food to another baby, but the food of the big baby next to them kept spraying out. This. Looking at the wasted rations, Liu Ruyan gritted her teeth and said, well, Jiang Bai, why don't you eat it? Okay. With no other options, Jiang Bai had to eat it. Fortunately, Jiang Bai didn't eat too much during the meal, otherwise he really wouldn't be able to hold it back. Much better. A quarter of an hour later, Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief. Looking at the milk stains on the corner of a guy's mouth and thinking about what had just happened, she really couldn't imagine how she would deal with this situation if this guy wasn't around. Jiang Bai, do you really have 100 million? Liu Ruyan pondered for a moment, but still asked out loud, because this was very important to her and directly affected Sanbao's quality of life. As for her, it didn't matter. Jiang Bai nodded, as if he could see Liu Ruyan's confusion. Come on, let's go to the new house. This. Liu Ruyan looked at her wet clothes, her face flushed. Well, I'll go take a shower first. She walked towards the bathroom, closed the door, took off her black stockings, and then put on her shirt and skirt. On the other side, the Ministry of Justice. Team leader. These are all the crimes committed by those people. The lightest sentence should be 5 years or more. Especially the landlord, he should be sentenced to at least 20 years. Very good. Looking at the confession on the table, Lin Chaofan signed it and said, you can go. After his men left the office, Lin Chaofan looked out at the beautiful scenery of Jiangnan in the distance, and his thoughts went back to 2 years ago, when he was chasing a wanted fugitive who was about to disappear from his sight. However, a young man suddenly appeared and kicked the seriously injured fugitive off the roof. He later found out that the man was his younger brother's boss. That was the first time they met, and it was also after that meritorious service that he became the captain of the Jiangnan Judicial Department. Xiaojiang. That 100 million, did you really win that in the lottery? Lin Chaofan murmured, he always felt that there was a mystery about Jiang Bai. An hour later. Jiangnan, Longhu Villa. Miss Liu, is this really the villa of my uncle? Aunt Wang, who had just returned from the hospital, was so shocked by the luxurious villa that she couldn't react for a moment. Ding-a-ling tilde. At this time, Jiang Bai received a call from his mother. Hey, you bastard, are you kidding me? There is a person at the address you sent. Par tilde. Jiang Bai slapped his forehead and forgot about what his mother had said. What mom? Your daughter-in-law and I just moved. I'll send you the new address. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Liu Ruyan's heart was lifted up, and she no longer cared to talk to Aunt Wang. Jiang Bai, Auntie has come to Jiangnan. Oh, yeah. We have been to Xuanwu community and are now on their way to the villa. Jiang Bai smiled bitterly. He didn't expect his mother to come so soon. He didn't care so much when he was admitted to Jiangnan University. Tilde. Liu Ruyan panicked when she heard this. I'll be there soon, what should I do? Chapter 13, Brat, Ruyan is calling you in. Ding bell tilde. The doorbell rang, and Liu Ruyan's heart tightened. Aunt Wang had already opened the door. Excuse me, who are you looking for? Mom, you're here. As soon as Aunt Wang finished speaking, Jiang Bai came over. Liu Ruyan stood aside anxiously. Hello, Auntie tilde. You must be Ruyan, so beautiful. When Jiang's mother saw her daughter-in-law, her eyes lit up. Wow, she was much prettier than in the video. She didn't know how her little brat had managed to hook up with her. Mom, this is Aunt Wang, the nanny Ruyan hired before. After some introduction, Jiang's mother learned from Aunt Wang that the villa belonged to her son, and she was stunned. Stinky boy, this villa is yours. Jiang Bai laid his cards on the table. I wanted to tell you something. I was lucky enough to win the lottery a while ago. Look, Mom, this is the message. Under the system operation, a text message appeared on Jiang Bai's phone. Jiang's mother took a look and asked, "Is this 100 million? You won a 100 million lottery, Tilder?" Jiang's mother was confused. What did 100 million mean? As a company manager, she knew it very well. Take her company for example, its market value was only 3 or 500 million, which was enough to rank among the top 20 in Yancheng. "Mom, you guys go tour the villa first, I'm going out to buy groceries." "Go ahead." Jiang's mother waved her hands. She wished the boy would leave so that she could have a heart-to-heart talk with her daughter-in-law. Tilder. After leaving the villa, Jiang Bai breathed a sigh of relief. He didn't expect his mother to meet teacher Liu like this. "Never mind, let's go buy some groceries first." Jiang Bai. Just after leaving the villa, a voice called him. When he looked, he saw a beautiful girl appear in front of him. "It's really you, don't you recognize me?" The pretty girl showed off her 2 dimples, which looked very pretty. "It's me, Wang Feifei." Wang Feifei tilder. Hearing the name, Jiang Bai remembered that this was his first love. He was still in junior high school at that time. However, the two eventually broke up because they went to different schools. Jiang Bai even tried to commit suicide and went on a hunger strike for 3 days. Looking back now, it seemed quite childish. "Haven't seen you for a long time." Jiang Bai saw his first love and greeted her politely. "Yeah, long time no see." Wang Feifei thought back to the past, then looked at Jiang Bai. "By the way, where are you going?" "Go buy some groceries." "Let's not talk about it for now. I have to go buy some groceries and then take care of Sanbao." "What?" Looking at Jiang Bai's departing back, Wang Feifei was disheveled in the wind. "Jiang Bai has a child. That's not right. I remember he went to Jiangnan University. He should be a senior now and hasn't graduated yet, right?" After a pause, Wang Feifei looked at Longhu Villa and said, "But why is he here?" With doubts in mind, Wang Feifei started working. After all, she was the manager of the property management department of Longhu Villa and was very busy on weekdays, at least until she caught a rich man and married into a wealthy family. Wang Feifei wanted to feel superior, but she was crushed by Jiang Bai because he had a child. Half an hour later, Jiang Bai returned to the villa. "You little brat, Ruyan is calling you in." Oh. After hearing what his mother said, Jiang Bai put down the vegetables he bought and went into the room. At this moment, Liu Ruyan had already fed the 2 babies. After Sanbao finished eating, the remaining food undoubtedly went to someone, but fortunately, Jiang's mother and Aunt Wan were not there at the moment, otherwise Liu Ruyan would have been very embarrassed. A little. Liu Ruyan came out with a red face. Jiang's mother was very pleased to see the appearance of her daughter-in-law. It seemed that her son got along well with her professor's daughter-in-law. Joke. If they didn't get along well, they wouldn't have let that brat in just now. I don't know what kind of luck this brat had. Ding dong tilder. At this time, the doorbell rang from outside the door. Aunt Wang opened the door and then heard a familiar voice. "Excuse me, is Mr. Jiang here?" "Who are you?" Aunt Wang saw the beautiful girl in front of her and asked suspiciously. The girl smiled gently and said, "Hello, I am the property manager of Longhu Villa. I heard that Mr. Jiang moved into Longhu Villa today. I would like to ask if he has any other requirements for the villa." "Is that so? Come in then." Aunt Wang hesitated for a moment and brought the beautiful girl into the villa. The girl was obviously dressed up carefully and even deliberately unbuttoned a button, so that her cleavage was faintly visible. Tilder. "Aunt Lin." When I arrived at the villa, I saw Jiang's mother Lin Wanru. The girl's pretty face was full of surprise. This girl was none other than Jiang Bai's first love, Wang Feifei, whom he met outside the villa before. "Jiang Bai, you're here too." Wang Feifei then saw Jiang Bai, who had just separated from her. She especially saw the milk stains on the corners of Jiang Bai's mouth. He was looking at Liu Ruyan and Sanbao held by Jiang's mother. Could it be? No way. "Smelly boy, wipe the stuff off the corner of your mouth quickly." After hearing this, Liu Ruyan looked at the evidence of guilt on the corner of a guy's mouth and her face turned red. It's over, she's been discovered. She really wanted to find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Isn't it embarrassing, Tilda? Jiang's mother obviously disliked the girl who had caused her son to commit suicide. Fei Fei, don't be surprised. The young couple is full of youthful vigor. When Liu Ruyan heard what Jiang's mother said, her face turned even redder, spreading to the back of her ears. Ahem, what did Mom say? With a dry cough, he knew what his mother meant by youthful vigor, but was he really that impatient? This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. That's right. Wang Feifei thought about her mission. Jiang Bai, you are not the owner of this house. Although it is a little unbelievable, Jiang Bai is the only one with the surname Jiang in the scene. Who else could own this villa if not him? Not bad. Jiang Bai smiled slightly, but Wang Feifei felt that Jiang Bai was much more handsome than before. If she had not broken up with him at the beginning, she would probably be the mistress of this house now. Ahem, what is that? After a pause, Wang Feifei lowered her posture and said, I am the property manager of Longhu Villa. I came to the villa to ask if you have any other needs. I see. Jiang Bai looked around the villa and said, not yet. Good. Taking a deep breath, Wang Feifei, who was overwhelmed by the huge gap, gasped for breath. Then Jiang Bai, if you need anything in the future, just contact me directly. As she spoke, Wang Feifei handed over her business card. However, Liu Ruyan took over and said, okay, Manager Wang, I will contact you if I need anything. Wang Feifei. Well done. Jiang's mother saw her daughter-in-law's operation. As expected of a professor, she realized something was wrong so quickly. Ahem, that's right. Wang Feifei was very embarrassed for a moment, then took out 3,000 yuan from her pocket. Auntie Lin, this money is a gift for the three little guys. Isn't he this bad? Jiang's mother didn't want it at first, but Wang Feifei insisted on giving it to her. Jiang's mother had no choice but to accept it, but she gave it to her daughter-in-law, Ruyan. Use this money to buy 2 clothes for the little one. Puff Tilda. Wang Feifei's heart was filled with vomiting blood. She knew that she had no chance at all. She then looked at Liu Ruyan's graceful figure, and the milk stain on Jiang Bai's mouth just appeared in her mind. She lowered her head to look at her chest. I'm so angry, why is the gap so big? Tilda. Chapter 14. The weather has turned cooler recently, why not sleep together? You guys chat, I'll go to the kitchen to cook. Jiang's mother glanced at Wang Feifei, who she disliked, inconspicuously, and left with peace of mind knowing that this girl was no match for her daughter-in-law. To be more precise, she completely crushed her. Jiang Bai, I feel like there is a lump in my chest, can you help me massage it? Tilda. Wang Feifei. Got a lump? Massage it. Wang Feifei couldn't help but look at Hongda, whose shirt was about to break, and suddenly she felt like she had suffered 100,000 points of damage. Ahem, what is that? Jiang Bai, you guys are busy. I'm leaving first. With a dry cough, Wang Feifei tactfully left, knowing that her dream of reconciling with Jiang Bai and marrying into a wealthy family was shattered. Aunt Wang shook her head at this, as she had seen too many girls like her. Ho! In the room, Jiang Bai massaged for a while. Ruyan baby, you don't seem to have any lumps. No way. Liu Ruyan lowered her head, looked at the Hongda location, and said stubbornly, look for it again. Her heart beat faster involuntarily. Of course she didn't have a lump, but she sensed that Wang Feifei had ill intentions, so she spoke as if to assert her sovereignty. However, she could only make the best of it for now. After all, you can't say she's jealous. Tilda. Oh well. Jiang Bai naturally didn't know what Liu Ruyan was thinking, so he began to massage and search carefully. How strange, there really isn't any. Ruyan, how do you feel now? After massaging for more than 10 minutes, Jiang Bai asked again, and at this moment Liu Ruyan wanted to bury her head in the quilt. It was so embarrassing, but fortunately that guy didn't know that she did it on purpose. Yeah, much better. Thank you, Jiang Bai. Liu Ruyan tidied her clothes and saw a guy staring at her. Her face flushed as she asked whether this counted as flirting with him. Oh, that's good. Jiang Bai nodded, and then the two of them came out of the room. At this moment, Sanbao had been coaxed to sleep by Aunt Wang. Brat, come quickly. Mother Jiang's voice came from the kitchen, calling her son over. Look at you, Ruyan has given so much for you, but you are still so ignorant. Help me and learn how to cook from me. Liu Ruyan's face flushed. Auntie, how about I help too? It was the first time I met that guy's mother, and I thought I had to do something to show my appreciation. Need not. Jiang's mother waved her hand and refused. You are a great contributor to our Jiang family. How can I let you do this? Da tilde. But at this moment, Jiang Bai had already prepared the ingredients at lightning speed. Your knife skills are pretty good, little brat. Jiang's mother looked in the direction of the sound and was surprised by her son's knife skills. I think he must be a good cook. You are really good at hiding it. This meal is up to you tilde. An expert can tell whether a dish is good or not with just one try. At this moment, Jiang's mother realized that her son's cooking skills might not be inferior to hers. No problem. Jiang Bai was already itching to try his hand, so he naturally took it. Seeing this, Jiang's mother nodded in satisfaction, and soon the tempting aroma of food wafted into the air. Oh tilde. Aunt Wang looked towards the kitchen in surprise and said in astonishment, Sister Lin, your son's cooking skills are amazing. Ha tilde. This is also the first time I've seen this brat cook seriously. Liu Ruyan was gulping down her saliva on the side. She knew Jiang Bai's cooking skills best. Oh, Liu Ruyan, how can you use the word skills? I don't know what she was thinking about. Her pretty face flushed all the way behind her ears. Soon, the table was filled with delicious food. Wow tilde. Mother Jiang took a bite of the food and said in surprise, Boy, I didn't even know such a good cooking skill. I felt deeply moved for a moment. If she were to be taught this level, I'm afraid it would be too much for that brat to teach her. It seems my daughter-in-law will have a good time in the future. Hey, if you capture the stomach of your beautiful daughter-in-law, it's only a matter of time. Ding! The host's first cooking show wowed the audience, and he won 100,000 yuan and God-level martial arts ability. God-level martial arts. The system's voice rang in his ears, and Jiang Bai felt the subtle changes taking place in his body. He had mastered various martial arts moves. It was no exaggeration to say that Jiang Bai was now a hidden master. Ruyan, you guys must have been exhausted yesterday. Today, Aunt Wang and I will take care of Sanbao. You guys go back to your room and rest. After dinner, Aunt Wang was washing the dishes while Jiang's mother was helping her daughter-in-law by speaking to her. She obviously knew that this was the only way to improve the relationship between the couple. Okay then. Liu Ruyan wanted to say something, but when she thought about how Jiang's mother was getting close to Sanbao for the first time, her face fainted a little, and her heart started beating fast. Was she going to be alone with that guy tonight? Soon, back to the room. The atmosphere immediately became strange. Yesterday, all the attention was on Sanbao, but now it was different. Well, how about I sleep on the floor? Jiang Bai said this with a dry cough, and Liu Ruyan frowned. The villa originally belonged to someone else, and their weather has been abnormal recently. The weather has been getting cooler lately, why don't we sleep together? Liu Ruyan said so, but her face turned red to the back of her ears. That guy wouldn't misunderstand anything, right? If he got sick, who would share the responsibility of taking care of Sanbao with her in the future? Yes, that's it. Liu Ruyan found a far-fetched reason to convince herself. Then, okay. Jiang Bai was stunned for a moment. My goodness, did this happiness come a little too suddenly? I won't be polite. Liu Ruyan heard this and rolled her eyes at someone. You're welcome. He wasn't polite when he was robbing Sanbao's food. Of course, she didn't dare to say this out loud. I don't know how much time had passed, I was in a daze. Wow tilde. Sanbao's cry woke them up. Liu Ruyan hurried to Sanbao's room. Aunt Wang saw this and said, Miss Liu, Sanbao might be hungry. Liu Ruyan didn't say much. She skillfully lifted up her pajamas, revealing her huge breasts. Jiang's mother was stunned. Wow, her daughter-in-law is so big. Hey, no wonder Sanbao is white and fat. With this strength, he is more than capable of having triplets, even quadruplets. After Mai finished feeding, Sanbao's lips curled up in satisfaction and he fell asleep. It's so late, you guys go back to your room, I'll just watch over you. Looking at the sleepy couple, Jiang's mother spoke. Liu Ruyan exchanged glances with Jiang Bai, and then walked quickly towards the room. Aunt Wang looked at the two of them and said, "Sister Lin, Miss Liu seems to have completely started to produce milk. I'm afraid Sanbao hasn't finished eating yet. Hey, let them do with the remaining rations." As an experienced person, Jiang's mother naturally knew that her daughter-in-law still had a lot of food left. Then she thought of the milk stains on the corners of her son's mouth during the day, and a meaningful smile appeared on her face. This young man was quite good at living and didn't know how to waste. Chapter 15. Mom, this is my wife, can I let her get tired? A little. Tilder. Liu Ruyan felt herself returning to normal and couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Luckily I came back in time, otherwise it would have been embarrassing if Auntie and Auntie Wang saw me. She felt much more comfortable after the baby's food was empty, but she would rather let Jiang Bai see her in such a mess than let her aunt and Aunt Wang see it. It's late, go to bed. Liu Ruyan turned her back to Jiang Bai to hide her embarrassment, but her mind couldn't help but recall the scene of Jiang Bai clearing out her inventory every time. Looking at the stunning goddess in front of him, Jiang Bai had a bold idea at one point. "Baby Ruyan, can your husband hold you while you sleep?" As he spoke, Jiang Bai clearly felt his heartbeat quicken. Then he made up his mind, "If you don't say anything, I'll take it as your consent." Jiang Bai then put his big hand around Liu Ruyan's slender waist, and the other hand around her fair neck. Especially the pleasant fragrance on her body made Jiang Bai feel very comfortable. However, he could clearly feel Liu Ruyan's body tense up, although it was only for a moment. Seeing this, Jiang Bai secretly thought there was a chance, and he would naturally make good use of his mother's magical assist. Feeling Jiang Bai's embrace, Liu Ruyan felt inexplicably safe and the corners of her mouth curved up involuntarily. However, before she had time to savor this wonderful feeling, she realized that her penis was covered. Oh my god, that guy was actually so embarrassing, he really has no good intentions. But why am I not angry at all? The next day, early morning. Against the backdrop of the golden morning sun, Liu Ruyan's delicate face became even more beautiful. Jiang Bai just watched her quietly. When Liu Ruyan opened her sleepy eyes, she was met with Jiang Bai's deep, starry eyes. Her face flushed for a moment because she had slept so comfortably yesterday. "You're awake." Seeing the beautiful lady wake up, Jiang Bai greeted her. Liu Ruyan felt the vastness that was still covering her. Why don't you take it away? Hey, let's play it for a while, okay, Mr. Liu A little tenderness. When I left the room, I saw Jiang's mother and Aunt Wang playing with the three little ones. The sun had already risen and Jiang's mother had prepared breakfast some time ago. When Jiang's mother saw her daughter-in-law's blushing face, she immediately went up to her son and twisted his ears. "You little bastard, come here. Did you bully Ruyan last night?" When Liu Ruyan heard what Jiang's mother said, her face turned even redder, which made Jiang's mother more certain of her guess. "You little bastard, I'll twist your ears off." Although he said this, he was very satisfied with his son in his heart. He felt that his help was worthwhile. However, he also had to give his daughter-in-law a way out. Mom. Breaking free from his mother's hand, Jiang Bai coughed dryly. "I just held her to sleep yesterday, I didn't do anything else." "Oh no, I just slept with Hongda there all night." Well. After hearing this, Jiang's mother was stunned for a moment, and then she looked at Liu Ruyan's appearance and said, "So that's how it is. You are a smart kid." Jiang's mother then took Liu Ruyan's slender hand and said, "Ruyan, if this boy wants to bully you in the future, tell Mom and I will deal with him right away." Liu Ruyan spoke in a voice as soft as a mosquito. She really couldn't act like a cool goddess professor in front of Jiang's mother. After breakfast. "Ruyan, don't get tired." Jiang's mother greeted him with concern, and then reminded Jiang Bai with a cold face, "You little bastard, take good care of my daughter-in-law, you hear me? If you lose a hair, I will punish you when I come back. Don't worry Mom, this is my wife. How can I let her get tired?" He rolled his eyes at his mother, stepped on the accelerator, and drove away from the villa in the extended version of the Porsche 718. The exit of the villa. "Jiang Bai, are you guys going out?" When Wang Feifei saw the car Jiang Bai was driving, her eyes were full of envy. Moreover, Liu Ruyan was dressed up exquisitely today, and her appearance was even more beautiful. "Well, I'm going to school with Teacher Liu. Today is the first day of military training for freshmen. After that, the car drove away, leaving Wang Feifei full of regret. Looking at the departing Porsche, Wang Feifei clenched her fists and said, "I regret it so much. If we hadn't broken up, I should be the one with Jiang Bai now." Wrong. Wang Feifei quickly realized something. Just now Jiang Bai called that girl teacher Liu. Could it be that? That girl is a university teacher. His tilde. Thinking of this, Wang Feifei took a breath of cold air. How old is she to be a university teacher? Jiang Bai, that Wang Feifei, is your girlfriend. In the Porsche, Liu Ruyan looked at the scenery flying backwards outside the window and asked a question for no reason. Although it sounded nonchalant, she was listening with her ears perked up. Ahem, my baby Ruyan discovered this. Jiang Bai was not surprised by this. After all, Liu Ruyan was a university professor, and her insight was naturally far beyond that of an ordinary girl. HMPH tilde. She's no threat to me, though. Liu Ruyan said arrogantly, and Jiang Bai nodded in agreement. It's true that there is no threat. You are equivalent to 2 or 3 of them. That's tilde. When Liu Ruyan was halfway through her words, she noticed someone's gaze and her face turned red. Jiang Bai, what are you talking about? 2 or 3? I don't understand what you're saying. Suddenly, Liu Ruyan's heart began to beat fast. Hey, yeah. Teacher Liu doesn't understand, or is he pretending not to understand tilde? Liu Ruyan. Jiang Bai's words drove Liu Ruyan a little crazy. This guy had only been with her for 2 or 3 days and he was becoming more and more disrespectful. After all, she was his teacher, tilde. However, this feeling is pretty good. Squeak tilde. A quarter of an hour later, the extended version of the Porsche 718 arrived at the playground and parked the car. Teacher Liu. Senior Jiang Bai. Huang Yundao and Long Xiaoyun just happened to see Jiang Bai and his partner getting out of the car. You guys came together. Liu Ruyan was nervous. It was all because of this guy who didn't let her get off the car early. Now, what should she do if she was misunderstood? Teacher Liu and I live relatively close, so I came along. Jiang Bai thought of what to say and smiled. Huang Yundao and the other man looked at each other and said, "Oh, so that's how it is. I just thought that Teacher Liu and Senior Jiang Bai were in love." When Liu Ruyan heard what the two said, she glared at Jiang Bai imperceptibly, as if to say, "You see, it's all your fault." Jiang Bai Gubo was not surprised, and laughed jokingly. I would like to have a relationship with Teacher Liu, but she doesn't want to tilde. Huang Yundao and the other man chuckled, thinking that Senior Jiang Bai was really humorous. They wondered how they would react if they knew that Senior Jiang Bai and their goddess professor had 3 children. Chapter 16. Wait, my husband's love drink will be here soon. Gather. Huang Yundao served as the sports committee member. When the whistle sounded, the freshmen lined up and gathered together. However, everyone's eyes couldn't help but glance at Liu Ruyan, who was wearing tight sportswear and a ponytail. Against the backdrop of the sun, she looks like a queen, just like the goddess of their dreams. Liu Ruyan's face flushed slightly as she was stared at by her classmates and many freshmen around her. If she had known earlier, she would not have worn tight sportswear, which would have outlined her figure. Teacher Liu, you are so charming. Jiang Bai moved closer to Liu Ruyan, and naturally he noticed the gazes of many freshmen. Even a few instructors looked at him a few more times. Go away tilde. Fortunately, the two of them were holding the roll call list, so everyone thought they were discussing something, and they didn't know that Jiang Bai and the others were secretly plotting something. It's all your fault. You forced me to wear this. Now look what happened. Feeling everyone's gazes, Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai, but it was a pity that she was the only one who saw this scene. As they were bickering, the sun was scorching. Well, if you can't hold on, I can do it here by myself. Seeing the fine sweat oozing from Liu Ruyan's forehead, Liu Ruyan blushed slightly as she felt the breath of a guy close to her. It's okay. Just a little thirsty. After hesitating for a moment, Liu Ruyan pursed her red lips and spoke. It would be strange if I wasn't thirsty in such a hot sun. Looking at the scorching sun hanging in the sky, Jiang Bai smiled bitterly. Wait, my husband's love drink will be here soon. Love drink, Jiang Bai, you. Liu Ruyan's heart tightened. This guy wouldn't buy drinks for her in public, right? If that happened, wouldn't it lead to misunderstanding? What should she do? For a moment, Liu Ruyan panicked. Hey, Lao Lin. Jiang Bai took out his cell phone and called Lin Zifan. Your sister-in-law is thirsty. I want to treat the whole class to a drink. What? Sister-in-law is thirsty. I'll be there right away. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Bai held the roll call list close to Liu Ruyan's ear and said warmly, Wife, wait a moment. You? Liu Ruyan was stunned when she saw what Jiang Bai did. This guy actually treated the whole class to drinks just to buy her so that no one would notice their relationship. This guy, I didn't realize is quite good at pampering people. At a certain moment, Liu Ruyan's mouth curved into a charming arc, and the students who were watching her swallowed their saliva. The goddess professor is so beautiful. After a while, Lin Zifan and Wang Kuan brought the drinks. Lin Zifan came to Jiang Bai with 2 bottles of drinks. Hey, boss. Sister-in-law, drink some water. Thanks. Liu Ruyan took the drink and started drinking it. Although it was mineral water, it tasted very sweet. She wondered if it was an illusion. Long live Senior Jiang Bai. Many students howled in gratitude, not knowing that they were able to drink the water entirely because of their goddess professor. Instructor, come tilde. Wang Kuan, who was very outgoing, came to the instructor with a bottle of water, which stunned the instructor. Guduchuan swallowed his saliva, felt the scorching heat, and took it. That brat is quite capable. Seeing Wang Kuan's actions, Jiang Bai's mouth curled up. This kid is very skilled in attacking the mind. However, freshmen from other classes were not happy. Look at other people as teaching assistants, then look at your own teaching assistants. There is no harm without comparison. Feeling the gazes of the new students, the teaching assistants in each class blushed, looked around, and acted as if it had nothing to do with them. During the break, the instructor looked at Jiang Bai. Student Jiang Bai. I heard that you are quite skilled. How about a sparring match? Long before the military training, the instructor checked Jiang Bai's resume. Only by knowing yourself and your enemy can you win every battle. Wow tilde. Hearing this, everyone's eyes fell on Jiang Bai, with surprise on their faces. It turned out that Senior Jiang Bai was quite skilled. This operation. Lin Zifan and the other 2 were also stunned. The instructor wanted to compete with the boss. How could they miss such a good show? Ding! The host triggers a random mission. Defeat all instructors and have a half-day holiday for military training. Mission reward, 100,000 yuan, God-level farming skills. Farming technique? Jiang Bai was stunned when he heard the system's task. Although he knew that the God-level martial arts previously rewarded by the system would not come out of nowhere, he did not expect that it would trigger such a task. It was just that the farming technique felt wrong. Could it be tailor-made for the goddess professor? Okay. Jiang Bai agreed without thinking, but Liu Ruyan was anxious. Student Jiang Bai, you. Don't worry, Mr. Liu, I know my limits. The mission reward is God-level farming skills, so you have to try your best even if it's just for yourself. Well, you better be careful. After all, he is a systematic training instructor. Jiang Bai nodded comfortingly, then looked at the military training instructor. But I have a condition. Oh. You say tilde. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, the instructor's mouth curled up. He was an elite in the army. It was not easy for him to see a student with good skills, so he naturally would not miss the opportunity to compete with him and treat it as a warm-up. Well, I want to challenge all the instructors in this military training. Liu Ruyan. Is this guy crazy? 6666, boss is awesome. Boss, I'm keeping an eye on you tilde. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. When Lin Zifan and the other 2 heard the boss's words, they started to make noises. The freshmen in the class were all stunned. All the instructors, Senior Jiang Bai. Not only the freshmen in Assistant Professor Jiang Bai's class, but also the freshmen in other classes around were stunned. Many instructors looked over. This senior student from Dongjiang was really arrogant. Interesting. The chief instructor came over and looked at Jiang Bai meaningfully. His intuition told him that this little guy was quite skilled. Not bad. Boom. As the chief instructor's voice fell, the entire military training ground was shocked. Damn, these 2 guys are really something, one dares to challenge and the other dares to accept. Chief instructor, why don't you add some more spice? Jiang Bai thought about the mission, and the corners of his mouth curved up. How about this? If I beat the instructors, can I have a day off from military training this afternoon? If I lose, I will run 10 kilometers around the playground with weights. Gulp tilde. When the many freshmen who had gathered around heard the bet, they all swallowed their saliva. My goodness, running 10 kilometers with a weight in this kind of weather would definitely cost you half your life. Har har, the little guy is very confident tilde. Can. The chief instructor agreed and said, all instructors, step out and do your best to defeat this Jiang Bai, right? If you can't beat him, then you should do another 10-kilometer weighted run. Yes, chief instructor. Many instructors came out one after another, no more, no less, exactly 50, and surrounded Jiang Bai in the middle of the field. It was a spectacular scene. Jiang Bai, you. Liu Ruyan's heart was in her throat. That guy was too impulsive. What should she do now? What if she got hurt by the kick? Oh, Liu Ruyan, what are you thinking about? Looking at the 50 instructors around him, Jiang Bai was also quite excited. He was determined to learn the god-level farming technique. Chapter 17 Jiang Bai, you are becoming more and more courageous. The whole place was silent. Everyone stared at the field, and the freshmen were all extremely excited. It could be said that Jiang Bai did what they wanted to do but did not dare to do. How insane it is for one person to challenge all the instructors alone. Boss, awesome Kozler. The little cow climbed the tree, the boss is so awesome tilde. Lin Zifan and the other two looked at the boss on the field excitedly. They never thought that the boss had prepared a big gift for this year's freshmen, which was going to overturn Jiangnan University. Instructors, there is no need to hold back. We can start anytime. The instructors looked at each other. This kid is so arrogant. Let's see what he is capable of. In order to avoid the 10-kilometer weighted run, this kid must fall down. Be careful. The 50 instructors did not show any carelessness and rushed forward directly. The word, underestimating the enemy, was never in their dictionary. Jiang Bai. Bang 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 tilde. As soon as Liu Ruyan's voice came out, the first instructor who approached was pushed 7 or 8 meters away by Jiang Bai's Tai Chi push. Everyone was stunned by this scene. Fuck. Lin Zifan's eyes widened to the extreme. Boss, this is such an amazing skill. What a cool look tilde. The freshmen were even more shocked. Was that the Tai Chi push hands they had just practiced? One after another, the instructors were knocked to the ground. After more than a minute, all the instructors were killed. The chief instructor's eye sparkled with excitement. This kid is not simple. Good. The chief instructor narrowed his eyes and was the first to applaud. Little guy, very good tilde. What are you still standing there for? Get up, run 10 kilometers with weights, and meet here in 5 minutes. Yes, chief instructor. The instructors swallowed their saliva and left quickly without any hesitation. Jiang Bai, are you okay? Liu Ruyan walked forward worriedly, holding a tissue in her hand. Look at you, you only know how to show off tilde. Under the shocked gazes of Lin Zifan and the other two, their sister-in-law wiped the beads of sweat from their eldest son's forehead. Oh tilde. But at this moment, a unanimous booing sound was heard in the field. Well, just wipe it yourself. Liu Ruyan's face flushed. She was so worried about Jiang Bai that she forgot that they were still in military training, with more than 2,000 freshmen watching them. She stuffed the tissue into Jiang Bai's hand, then left in a somewhat embarrassed manner, appearing calm on the surface but extremely panicked on the inside. Oops tilde. How could this happen? Why did she end up wiping the sweat off that guy just now? Now so many people saw it. What should she do if they knew that she and Jiang Bai had given birth to a third child? How should she face her students? I'll admit defeat. The chief instructor looked at Jiang Bai with great satisfaction and said, we will have a half-day break from military training this afternoon. Let's go. R tilde. Senior Jiang Bai, I love you so much. All of a sudden, all the freshmen, both male and female, were extremely excited and expressed their love one after another. They didn't have to undergo military training, and although it was only half a day, it was such a happy thing. Boss, you're awesome. Lin Zifan and the other two came over and gave their boss a thumbs up. It was impossible not to admire such an achievement. Hello, chief instructor. When Chen Feng saw the chief military training instructor coming, he was nervous and respectful. After all, he was a lieutenant colonel. "Hello." The chief instructor nodded slightly in response, and then his eyes fell on Jiang Bai. "Student Jiang Bai, right? It would be a pity if you don't join the army with such skills. Are you interested in being my soldier? I'll make you a platoon leader tilde." Hiss. Lin Zifan and the other two gasped when they heard this. Wow, the platoon leader is the one coming up. Forget it. I don't like constraints. Without thinking too much, Jiang Bai declined politely. "The life I want is a wife, children and a warm bed." Har har har, no problem, everyone has their own aspirations. The chief instructor smiled heartily, but secretly thought it was a pity, but this kid's personality was quite similar to his own in his past. "I'm going, boss platoon leader, you're not going." Lin Zifan swallowed his saliva while watching the chief instructor leave. Wang Kuan rolled his eyes at Lin Zifan and said, "Second brother, you are stupid. Why are you going to play with such a beautiful sister-in-law? That's right, I wonder if the boss still has to take care of the three treasures." "Hey, how could I forget about this?" Lin Zifan patted his head in understanding, then looked at the instructors who had already started running with weights. "The chief instructor personally invited me and also promised me to be the platoon leader. I'm afraid this is the first time in history that this has happened to me. Who says it's not tilde tilde? Ding dong tilde." As the three of them were sighing, Jiang Bai received a message. He clicked on it and saw that it was from Liu Ruyan. "Jiang Bai, come to my office quickly." "Good." Jiang Bai looked at the message and seemed to realize something. "Your sister-in-law is looking for me. I'll go first." After saying that, he walked towards Liu Ruyan's office. Liu Ruyan's office. "Quick, close the door." Liu Ruyan urged Jiang Bai to close the door, then took off her tight sportswear, skillfully revealing her grandeur. As for the curtains, she drew them shut first because what happened next must not be seen by anyone. Hiccup tilde tilde. A quarter of an hour later, Jiang Bai burped. Seeing that someone was bloated, Liu Ruyan burst out laughing. "You tilde. I told you, if you can't finish it, just waste it." Listening to Liu Ruyan's words, Jiang Bai rolled his eyes at her and said, "What nonsense are you talking about? This is a good thing. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later." Phut tilde. You deserve to die of starvation. Liu Ruyan spat. Now that she came to school, she became even cheaper to a certain guy, as all the baby's food was enjoyed by him alone. Seeing the beautiful woman with a smile as beautiful as a flower, Jiang Bai swallowed his saliva at a close distance, then embraced the beautiful goddess, grasped her slender waist, and then kissed her red lips. The French kiss quietly came online. Liu Ruyan's mind went blank, her body stiffened, and she stared at the guy in front of her with her beautiful eyes wide open. Is he crazy? He actually kissed me in the office. Damn it. What would happen if someone found out? Time seems to have stopped at this moment, everything is quiet and beautiful, and nothing can be said about it. After an unknown amount of time, Liu Ruyan struggled to get free, glaring at the guy in front of her. "Jiang Bai, are you trying to suffocate me to death? Now, you are getting bolder and bolder. This is a school." When Liu Ruyan thought of the scene just now, she wished she could find a hole to crawl into. How could that guy do that? If she was really discovered, she would not be able to stay in Jiangnan University anymore. How can you blame me for this? Holding his goddess wife in his arms, Jiang Bai rolled his eyes at her. Who made you so beautiful and charming? I wonder if your husband can't control himself. Puff tilde. Listening to Jiang Bai's serious nonsense, Liu Ruyan couldn't help but smile, her face slightly flushed as she glared at Jiang Bai. "You're just a chatterbox, who cares tilde tilde." Ding! Congratulations to their host for completing the task of defeating all the instructors and taking a half day off for military training. You have received 100,000 yuan and the god-level farming technique. While I was bored, the system's voice rang in my ears. God-level farming technique was obtained. He couldn't help but curl the corners of his mouth and looked at the beauty in front of him with intriguing eyes. Here came the good news for his wife. Chapter 18. Jiang Bai, come here and see me or I'll beat you to death. Office downstairs. Hurry back to see Sambo. Liu Ruyan calmed her mind. All that came to her mind were the images of that guy eating the baby's food and the French kiss. It was her first time to have such a long kiss. Tilder. After walking a few steps, I passed by a grove of trees and a flying insect caught my eye. Jiang Bai, there's something in my eye. Well. Jiang Bai was stunned for a moment, then glanced at the freshman in the distance. Come on, follow me. After saying that, he took Liu Ruyan's slender hand and walked through the path into the woods, but was seen by Lin Zifan and 3 others who were passing by. Oh my god, that was the boss and his sister-in-law just now. They actually went to the grove. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng looked at each other strangely, and they also saw their doubts. No way, how can the boss be there with his sister-in-law? For some unknown reason the 3 of them followed him, under the pretext of keeping watch for the boss. Don't move, let me take a look. Jiang Bai removed Liu Ruyan's hand that was covering her eyes and started looking. Feeling Jiang Bai approaching, Liu Ruyan's heart tightened and her face turned red, completely out of control. Hold on. It might hurt a little. Jiang Bai lifted his eyelid with his fingers and saw a white dot under his eyeball. It's a small flying insect. I'll help you get it out. At this moment, beside the grove. Oh my goodness, the boss and his sister-in-law are so good at playing tilder. Looking at the 2 people kissing on the bench, Lin Zifan and the other 2 swallowed their saliva. Wang Kuan sipped his lips in envy. I didn't expect the boss to be so frivolous, dragging his sister-in-law into the woods. Hey, I wonder what it feels like to kiss. Chen Feng narrowed his eyes and looked at the man in the scene with an uncle smile on his face. Lin Zifan took out his cell phone and took a picture of the evidence. I am so happy to eat this dog food tilder. Lin Zifan was filled with emotion. His mind flashed back to the time when the boss invited the entire class to drink water in order to bring water to his sister-in-law, and even killed the instructor to let his sister-in-law rest for half a day. Now he came here again. Showing affection will lead to death sooner. If you continue like this, you will have no friends tilder. It's out tilder. Jiang Bai blew a few times, then used his fingers to get the small fly out. Liu Ruyan blinked and found that the foreign body sensation disappeared, and was about to thank Jiang Bai. Ding-a-ling tilder. The cell phone rang suddenly. When Liu Ruyan saw that it was her mother calling, her heart skipped a beat. Hey, Mom. When the call was connected, the voice of Liu's mother came from the other end. Ruyan, come back when you have time to meet someone. Your Aunt Qing's son has just returned from abroad. You 2 are about the same age. Do you think you can meet up sometime? Ding. The host triggers the mission, snatches his wife's phone, and says to her mother, Auntie, I'm Ruyan's boyfriend, declares sovereignty and obtains a mysterious treasure chest, God-level music ability. God-level music. Is this another magical ability? In addition, there is also a mysterious treasure chest, which seems pretty good. Thinking of this, Jiang Bai looked at the goddess professor who was on the phone, raised the corner of his mouth, and snatched her phone. Auntie, I'm Ruyan's boyfriend. You're crazy. Liu Ruyan was shocked. She glared at Jiang Bai and quickly argued, Mom, he is my colleague. After some explanation, Liu Ruyan hung up the phone. Jiang Bai, come here and I'll beat you to death. With a red face, Liu Ruyan pounced towards Jiang Bai with her teeth bared, but was easily avoided by Jiang Bai. Oh my god tilder. This is what is going on. Lin Zifan and the other 2 looked at the scene in confusion. The boss and his sister-in-law were kissing each other passionately, so how could they start fighting? We kissed for 5 or 6 minutes, it's lucky that the goddess sister-in-law didn't pass out. Boss, you're so awesome. After looking at the time displayed on the video, Wang Kuan's mouth twitched. Lin Zifan and Chen Feng looked over and then looked at each other. It was true. It was a pity that they didn't see the boss and his sister-in-law take it one step further. Hey, if this video were to be uploaded to the school network, it would definitely bring down Jiangnan University. Lin Zifan chuckled evilly, and Wang Kuan and the others nodded in agreement. Second brother, if you have the guts, upload it. We support you with both hands and feet. Go away tilder. He rolled his eyes at the 2 unscrupulous people and said, I don't want to be beaten up by the boss. The hearts of these 2 people are truly worthy of death. Look at you, you did a great job. Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai. At this moment, they had already left Jiangnan University in an extended version of the Porsche 718. Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief. She was terrified at the thought of what would happen if someone saw her chasing and beating Jiang Bai. My mom misunderstood that I have a boyfriend, Tilda. She snorted softly, with an angry look on her beautiful face. It's just a misunderstanding, at worst it can become real. Jiang Bai said casually, causing Liu Ruyan to roll her eyes, Tilda. It's wishful thinking tilde. Each of them spoke a little, but no matter how you looked at it, they looked like a young couple showing their affection. Ding dong tilde. At this time, Liu Ruyan received a message and clicked on it. Nizzy, video chat with me right now. I want to meet my future son-in-law. Otherwise, I will go to your school. Mom, you. Right now. Before Liu Ruyan could continue sending messages, she heard her mother's order from the other side, and she secretly felt that something was wrong. We must not let my mother come, otherwise what is the point of her hiding it for a year? Jiang Bai is broken. My dear, there is more to this chapter. Please click on the next page to continue reading. It's even more exciting later. My mom asked me to turn on the video, otherwise I would have to come to school tilde. Liu Ruyan suddenly panicked and looked at Jiang Bai and asked, hoping to find a solution. Come on, it's not like your husband is not good enough. Liu Ruyan, I can't take it out, you big head ghost. Liu Ruyan glared at a certain guy. Did he really not understand, or was he just pretending to be confused? Once my mother comes, we won't be able to hide the matter of the 3 little ones. Who knows what will happen then? Liu Ruyan took a deep breath and clenched her teeth. I will video chat with my mother later. Keep her calm first, and remember to cooperate with me. All right. Jiang Bai nodded slightly. This was actually the first time he met his future mother-in-law. Oh, so annoying tilde. Liu Ruyan looked at her phone frantically and forced herself to video chat with her mother. Mom. Her face flushed slightly. This was the first time that Liu Ruyan let Jiang Bai meet his family. Even though they were separated by a video, she still felt embarrassed. Mother Liu glanced at her daughter and her eyes fell on her daughter's boyfriend. When she saw Jiang Bai, her eyes lit up. This boy is quite handsome. Ruyan, is this really your aunt? Jiang Bai was stunned when he saw the woman in the video. Are you sure this isn't your sister? Liu Ruyan. Jiang Bai, what nonsense are you talking about? Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai fiercely. Is this guy crazy? What nonsense is he talking about? That's not nonsense. Well, auntie, I don't mean anything else, it's just that you are too young. Jiang Bai didn't lie. Although his mother-in-law was in her 40s, she looked very well maintained and people would believe her if she said she was only 30. Puff tilde. Hearing what her future son-in-law said, Liu's mother was amused. Xiao Jiang, right? You're so sweet. No wonder Ruyan never went on a blind date and was won over by you. Chapter 19 Boss, don't think I'm a 3-year-old kid who's so easy to fool tilde. No way. Jiang Bai looked at Liu's mother seriously. Aunt, what I said is true. If you walk down the street with Ruyan, they will definitely be mistaken for sisters. Mother Liu was even happier when she heard this. Yeah. Many people have said the same thing before. Seeing that her future son-in-law was so talkative, Liu's mother liked him more and more. Liu Ruyan watched the two of them chatting enthusiastically and felt that she was more like an outsider. I'll tell you. Jiang Bai was quite emotional. It was good to be rich. It seemed that this girl had to hide the fact that she was a rich woman from her family. Auntie, if I wasn't Ruyan's boyfriend, I would definitely call you sister. You are such a beautiful woman. Calling you auntie completely lowers your appearance tilde. Liu Ruyan. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes fiercely. This guy really has no moral integrity at all. Although her mother is well maintained and beautiful, she is not that good. Ruyan, look at how good Xiao Jiang is at speaking. Liu's mother then complained to her daughter, unlike you, who always accuses me of spending money recklessly. Liu Ruyan wanted to say something at this moment, but found that she had no way to defend herself, so she remained silent tactfully, because for every word she said, her mother would definitely have 10 words waiting for her. But it was obvious that Liu's mother's attention was not on her. Xiao Jiang, what do your parents do? Liu's mother got to the point at the right time. After all, the more she knew about her daughter's lifelong affairs, the more confident she would be. Oh. After a pause, Jiang Bai laughed. my father is a design engineer, my mother is a company manager, and as for me, I am a senior student at Jiangnan University and serve as a freshman teaching assistant. Ruyan happens to be my immediate superior. Liu Ruyan. This guy is crazy. When asked about his parents, what did he say he was doing? He also said he was a student and he was his immediate superior. Oh. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Liu's mother's eyes lit up, and then she looked at her daughter, Ruyan, not bad tilde. Mother Liu secretly thought that she was indeed her daughter. Back then, she was a student who won over Father Liu, who was a professor. Now, her daughter, as a professor, won over the student. TSK tilde. You guys, speak properly tilde. Liu Ruyan pinched Jiang Bai's thigh with her small hand and warned him threateningly. Hiss. However, Jiang Bai was not fooled. Ruyan, why are you pinching me? I didn't say anything wrong. You are indeed my assistant's professor. Come on Nizi, stop relying on your professor's status to bully Xiao Jiang. Liu Ruyan wanted to cry but had no tears. She bullied him. My mother, do you know how much this guy has taken advantage of your daughter in recent days? When she thought of the scene of this guy snatching the baby's food, Liu Ruyan suddenly felt more wronged than doe tilde. After hanging up the phone, Liu's mother was quite satisfied with her son-in-law. Are you crazy? Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai. I asked you to video chat with my mom. Why are you saying so much? But baby, my mother-in-law is really young. Thinking of Liu's mother in the video just now, Jiang Bai said with emotion. Liu Ruyan curled her lips and said, what is there? It's all because of money. That is true. After a pause, Jiang Bai continued, my mother-in-law is not as good as my baby. HMPH tilde. Listening to someone's words, Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes, but she felt quite pleased in her heart and thought to herself that you are sensible. Ding-a-ling tilde. Just then, Jiang Bai's cell phone rang and he answered it. Hey, Lao Lin. As soon as the call was connected, Lin Zifan's low voice came from the other side. Boss, is your sister-in-law with you? Well. Jiang Bai looked at Liu Ruyan beside him and saw her shaking her head. It was obvious that she also wanted to know what secrets there were between the men. No, what's up? Jiang Bai cooperated and said, and it was obvious that Lin Zifan's next words were not convenient for Liu Ruyan to hear. That's good. When Lin Zifan heard that his sister-in-law was not around, he immediately became casual. Hey, boss, you can do it. Kissing the goddess sister-in-law passionately in the school woods, you really know how to have fun tilde. Liu Ruyan. The woods. Kiss. Her face suddenly turned red. What was going on? Jiang Bai was clearly helping her get rid of the little flying insects in the woods. How did it become related to a passionate kiss? Did someone find out? Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan's heart rose to her throat. Second brother, what nonsense are you talking about? Jiang Bai was also stunned. What small forest? And passionate kiss? I don't know what you are talking about. Hey. After hearing this, Lin Zifan smirked. Boss, I still don't know you after living in the same house for 3 years. Luckily I recorded the video a long time ago. But don't worry, we three will keep watch for you, so no one will see you. Lin Zifan continued, it's a pity that I didn't see you communicate further with the goddess sister-in-law tilde. Ding dong tilde. At the same time, Jiang Bai received a video on his phone, which was sent by Lin Zifan. When he clicked on it, Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes widened. It was a scene of them playing with small flying insects in the woods. However, judging from the angle of the shot, they did look like they were kissing passionately. Ahem, what is that? Faced with such irrefutable evidence, Jiang Bai knew that it was futile to argue. Second brother, I admit that I went to the grove with your sister-in-law. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. But I was helping your sister-in-law get rid of the little fly in her eye. Was she? When Lin Zifan heard this, he immediately exploded. Boss, you are so good at making excuses. I think you are trying to get rid of the little fly in your sister-in-law's mouth. When Liu Ruyan heard Lin Zifan's words, her face turned red all the way to the back of her ears, and the little fly in her mouth was talking nonsense. Snort. Boss, don't think I'm a 3-year-old kid who's so easy to fool tilde. Lin Zifan snorted as he said this, not knowing that he was getting further and further down the road to death. Hey, boss, tell me how it felt when you kissed your goddess sister-in-law. It will also make me, a single person, envious. Hearing Lin Zifan's words, Liu Ruyan's face turned even redder. Although they were really trying to get rid of the little flies in her eyes, all that came to her mind at this moment was the image of kissing that guy. Ahem, what's that second brother? Jiang Bai coughed dryly. I should tell you something. That's right, your goddess sister-in-law is actually right next to me, and she wants to hear you tell me secrets. When the voice fell, there was dead silence on the other side. There was silence for 7 or 8 seconds. Ahem, boss, you are shameless. Hey, well, sister-in-law, I have something else to do. I'll hang up first. Beep beep tilde. After saying that, Lin Bufan hung up the phone and sat in the dormitory in a daze. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng beside him swallowed their saliva and sympathized with the second brother for a second. Damn, the eldest brother was checked by the goddess sister-in-law. Chapter 20 Ruyan baby, are you happy that your husband was humiliated? This. Jiang Bai stared at his phone in confusion, doubting his life. I am more wrong than Do-yi. Puff tilde. Liu Ruyan looked at the guy next to her who was rarely embarrassed. She couldn't help laughing and joked, you get embarrassed sometimes too. Oh tilde. Jiang Bai listened to the gloating voice and looked at Liu Ruyan. Ruyan baby, are you happy that your husband got humiliated? Of course. Liu Ruyan said without any hesitation. She didn't care much when people called her Ruyan baby or your husband. Yeah. In that case, I think we can try the woods kiss when we have time. It should feel pretty good. Driving with one hand and laughing like a gangster, Liu Ruyan, who was originally happy, blushed instantly when she heard this. You, get out. She couldn't bear to imagine that scene, and it would be bad if one of them couldn't hold back. Oh, Bartilda. There is no such possibility at all. And you are kissing passionately in the woods. Liu Ruyan, what are you thinking about? Get rid of this dangerous idea quickly. How can you have such an idea? Little guy, I can't cure you yet. Listening to someone's irritating words, Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes at him. That guy was really bad. Ding! Their host completes the task of snatching his wife's phone and saying to her mother, Auntie, I am Ruyan's boyfriend, declares sovereignty, and obtains a mysterious treasure chest and god-level music ability. While flirting, Jiang Bai heard the voice of the system. Detection, their host has a mysterious treasure chest. Would you like to open it? Open. Jiang Bai didn't think much about it and chose to open it directly. He would naturally not refuse such an obvious choice. Ding! Congratulations to their host for obtaining their Almighty King driving skill. This ability allows their host to master all modes of driving, including but not limited to cars, helicopters, and yachts. All transportation. This is a bit too high-end. Jiang Bai feels that there is no problem in flying a fighter jet to bomb the airport. This is a must-have artifact for home travel. It can be said that at this moment, in terms of car driving alone, it is not an exaggeration to call Jiang Bai the god of driving in the world. Longhu Villa. Pushing open the door and entering the villa, Jiang's mother saw the young couple and said, You're back. Something happened at school, so we'll have a break from military training this afternoon. Jiang Bai said casually, and Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes. What do you call something happened? This guy beat up the instructor, and the entire Jiangnan University was turned upside down by him. Oh. Jiang's mother nodded, it's good to rest. By the way, the 3 treasures just woke up, why don't you take them out for a walk? Although she can take care of some things here, she can never replace mom and dad. After all, they are different. Yes, auntie. Liu Ruyan nodded in response. She missed Sanbao terribly after not seeing them for a long time. Looking at the 3 cute little guys, an auntie smile appeared on her face. Go ahead. I will clean up the villa with Aunt Wang. Mother Jiang laughed, and Jiang Bai pushed the stroller out of the villa. Sister Lin, you are so lucky. Aunt Wang sipped her lips and sighed, then smiled as she watched Jiang Bai and his family leave, with undisguised envy in her eyes. Har har, yeah. Mother Jiang breathed a sigh of relief. To be honest, I still feel like I'm dreaming. I didn't expect that I would become a grandmother of triplets at the age of 43 tilde tilde. On the other side, Jiang Bai and his companion left the villa complex. Jiang Bai. A familiar voice was heard, and suddenly they saw Wang Feifei not far away, but her face looked quite disappointed. You are. Jiang Bai didn't care and said casually, we will take Sanbao for a walk and take a break from the school's military training in the afternoon. Manager Wang, do you know if there is a Western restaurant nearby? Liu Ruyan pressed tightly against Jiang Bai, her two slender hands wrapped around his arms, and asked to assert her sovereignty. Wang Feifei's mouth twitched. She naturally knew Liu Ruyan's intention. Ahem, there is a newly opened Western restaurant next to the villa. The food is delicious. You can go and have a look. Thanks. Liu Ruyan raised her lips and said sweetly, honey, let's go take a look tilde. Ahem, okay. Jiang Bai coughed dryly at the sudden change. What's wrong with this girl? Why is she so annoying all of a sudden? At this moment, Wang Feifei's heart felt as if it was pierced by 100,000 steel needles, and blood was gushing out. It would be strange if she could remain calm when she saw her first love boyfriend being so affectionate with a beautiful woman. Wow, what should I do if I regret it so much? Watching the happy family leaving, Wang Feifei's heart was already filled with tears. If time could go back, she would betray their whole world to be with Jiang Bai, so that marrying into a wealthy family would be easy. She knew very well that breaking up with Jiang Bai was definitely the most wrong decision in her life. Soon, Jiang Bai and his companion arrived at the entrance of the Western restaurant. Let's go. Jiang Bai held Liu Ruyan's slender hand, and Liu Ruyan's face flushed slightly. This was their first day to eat Western food, and this felt like being in love. Nervous, expectant and a little exciting. It feels so amazing. Feeling the big hand pulling her, Liu Ruyan obediently let him pull her, no longer looking like a goddess at all. Wow, the guy is so handsome. And that beautiful lady has a great figure tilde. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. As soon as they entered the Western restaurant, the family attracted everyone's attention. After all, with such handsome men and beautiful women, and a pregnancy of 3 babies, it was hard not to attract attention. What would you like to order, sir? The waiter came closer and asked softly. His face flushed slightly when he glanced at Jiang Bai. Oh my god, he is so handsome, just like the Prince Charming in my dreams. The waitress' heart was pounding, damn, it was love at first sight. A couple's meal, plus 2 glasses of juice. How do you feel? Jiang Bai laughed when he saw his goddess wife's face flushed. It's not bad. Liu Ruyan's face turned even redder after hearing this. If there were only the 2 of them, it would have been more than this, but now there were so many people around looking at them. It's just that I feel a little uncomfortable being watched by so many people. In response, Jiang Bai smiled slightly. He didn't expect that this girl was so thin-skinned. Sir, miss, here is your set meal and juice. The attentive waiter kindly reminded, this lady should still be breastfeeding, the juice is at room temperature. Thanks. Liu Ruyan nodded slightly, and the waiter was stunned. This beauty is so beautiful, and if he were a boy, he would definitely marry her. As he spoke, Jiang Bai had already cut the steak in front of him into small pieces. Come on, this is the correct way to eat a couple's meal. Looking at the steak being handed over, the waiter felt like he was being fed dog food, and so did the people around him. Liu Ruyan's face turned even redder. That guy, isn't he afraid of being proud of himself for pampering her so much tilde. Chapter 21 Hurry up, your ancestral rations are out. Hiccup tilde. Everyone around suddenly felt the urge to burp. Wow. That handsome guy is too spoiled tilde. I like it so much. I really want to be pampered by that handsome guy like this, boo-hoo. It must be super happy to be his wife tilde. He is so handsome and can even give birth to 3 babies. Who wouldn't he like such a boy? Look at you tilde. Liu Ruyan listened to the fair-skinned and beautiful girls around her and felt quite threatened for a moment. She secretly decided that she must go to a private room for Western food next time. Ding! The host has triggered a mission. Sing a love song to express your love for your wife in public. Mission reward, 100% equity of Jinhai Real Estate Company. Jinhai Real Estate. 100% equity. Absolute controlling stake. Moreover, Jiang Bai remembered that Longhu Villa seemed to be built by Jinhai Real Estate. In other words, he would become the owner of Longhu Villa after completing the task. This operation can have tilde. Wife, your husband has prepared a gift for you. Jiang Bai bent his head and looked at the stunningly beautiful girl opposite him. Today, he also wanted to make his wife happy. Wait. When Liu Ruyan came back to her senses, Jiang Bai was already walking towards the stage in a corner of the Western restaurant. Jiang Bai, you tilde. Looking at a certain guy, Liu Ruyan was stunned. Her intuition told her that the guy was going to cause trouble. The three cute kids also looked in the direction where their father left, blinking their eyes with curiosity. Wow tilde. What is that handsome guy going to do? As expected, Jiang Bai immediately attracted the attention of everyone in the Western restaurant, especially the girls, who seemed to have vaguely sensed something. As expected, Jiang Bai came to the stage, and under everyone's attention, he picked up the microphone and raised his handsome arc. Next, this song is dedicated to my goddess Ms. Liu Ruyan. I hope you can be happy forever. Wow tilde. As soon as these words were spoken, the whole place was in an uproar. That handsome guy is going to sing for his wife. Oh my god, how sweet it is. They will be choked to death by showing off their love like this. That guy want to sing for himself. Liu Ruyan was also stunned by the sudden scene. For a moment, her heart was beating violently, as if it was about to jump out at any time. But before she could think about it, the singing had already reached her ears. Pick an apple. Wait till you pass by the door. Delivered to you to quench your thirst. Like Coke in the summer. Like cocoa in winter. You are the right role at the right time. It was a very warm and sweet love song, and Liu Ruyan was stunned when she heard it. Every note seemed to have some kind of magic that flowed into her heart, and then filled her heart with gurgling sweet spring water. So sweet, that guy, I didn't expect him to sing so well. Liu Ruyan also had a new understanding of Jiang Bai. The way she looked at that guy had subtly changed. It turned out that guy was much better than she had imagined. Oh my god. The beautiful waitress stared at Jiang Bai with blinking eyes, especially his handsome face that captured her heart. So handsome. The handsome guy's singing skills are much better than those young singers. I like him so much. I really want to carry him home. What should I do? Oh tilde. The girls in the restaurant were also stunned by the song. In this fast-paced era where traffic is paramount, being able to listen to such a song is definitely a gift from God. Coming back to her senses, Liu Ruyan's eyes fell on the three treasures, only to find that the three little guys were waving their arms and legs, blinking their eyes at the singing figures in the distance. Their cute and excited looks made people want to give them a kiss. After a while, the song ends and everyone is silent. The restaurant fell into silence, and about 10 seconds later, thunderous applause broke out. Oh my god, this guy is awesome tilde. Awesome, even better than the original. Hey, it's a shame not to develop in the music industry with such conditions tilde. There were exclamations of amazement at the scene, and the girls looked at Jiang Bai with admiration and excitement. Oh my god. Such a handsome guy, who sings so beautifully and is super good at doting, is doomed and has no chance of resistance. What should I do? Sharp. The pretty waitress clapped her hands, then looked at Liu Ruyan with envy. Miss, your husband is so awesome. If my future boyfriend could be even 1/10 as good as my husband, I would wake up laughing in my dreams. No, it's just so. Liu Ruyan blushed slightly as she spoke modestly. She couldn't help but glance at Jiang Bai and secretly thought, that guy only knows how to show off. Tilde. Is this just average? The pretty waitress swallowed her saliva and said, you really don't know how to appreciate your good fortune. Not long after finishing their Western meal. You tilde. Liu Ruyan pulled Jiang Bai out of the restaurant in a panic. The three little kids looked at their mother curiously. You only know how to show off. She rolled her eyes at Jiang Bai in a tender voice. This guy was just having a Western meal, but he almost turned the girls in the Western restaurant into his love rivals. Well. TSK, what love rival? What does that guy's popularity have to do with me? Liu Ruyan, can you please be more promising? However, the image of the heart-shaped steak cut by that guy for her emerged in her mind involuntarily, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Hey, don't think I don't know. I was really touched just now. The laughter teased the stubborn beauty. Liu Ruyan's face turned red when her thoughts were exposed. Who is so touched? I am not touched. This chapter is not finished yet, please click on the next page to continue reading the exciting content. Liu Ruyan said this proudly, but before he could continue speaking, she noticed something strange about Hongda. Jiang Bai, it's broken. Her pretty face changed, and she glanced at the passers-by around her. Hurry up, your ancestors' food rations are out. Jiang Bai. What, this? Jiang Bai was stunned when he heard Liu Ruyan's words. Be patient for a while, we will go back soon. You know, it's lunchtime now and there are a lot of people coming and going. If no one can get by in the grove, they can't stay here now. After all, Jiang Bai won't let others get away with it. What's more, I'm afraid Sanbao won't be able to finish all the rations. After finally reaching the sales office of Xuanwu Villa, I can't hold it anymore, Jiang Bai. If that doesn't work, go to the special room in the sales department. Jiang Bai glanced at Wang Feifei, who was not far away, and said this. Liu Ruyan blushed but didn't care about anything else. She couldn't make a fool of herself in public, so she nodded in agreement. Jiang Bai, what are you doing? Wang Feifei asked when she saw the two of them in a hurry. Jiang Bai saw Liu Ruyan's blushing face and said, Baby Ruyan can't hold back her food anymore. Help me find a room to feed Sanbao. This. After hearing this, Wang Feifei couldn't help but look at the button on Liu Ruyan that was about to break. Okay, follow me. Soon, they entered the sales office and came to a quiet room. Wang Feifei did not dare to leave and waited aside. After all, Jiang Bai was a resident of their Xuanwu Villa, and the two were their first love. Jiang Bai, hurry up tilde. As she was talking, Liu Ruyan had already unbuttoned her clothes. Wang Feifei's eyes suddenly paused when she saw it. My God, it's so big. Chapter 22 Mr. Jiang acquired Jinhai Real Estate Company and became our boss. This figure is so good. Wang Feifei swallowed her saliva. She didn't feel anything at first because she was wearing the clothes, but this was completely different. Then, he looked down at his airport and felt extremely inferior. The gap is too big. Sanbao was eating his rations while Wang Feifei's eyes never left him. No wonder. Jiang Bai fell in love with her. Men really prefer women like this. I can't compete with my looks, I can't compete with my body. Wang Feifei knew she had lost miserably tilde. But that is not all. After feeding Sanbao, Liu Ruyan's face turned slightly red, but thinking that Wang Feifei was that guy's first love, she gritted her teeth and said, Jiang Bai, you do the rest. Oh, okay. Jiang Bai didn't think much about it and continued to eat the baby rations skillfully, but Wang Feifei was shocked. Jiang Bai was actually eating that woman's baby rations, in front of him. Oh my God. Wang Feifei couldn't help but think of the scene that happened in the villa and the residue on Jiang Bai's mouth when he came out. Only. At that time, they were in the villa, but now it was happening right in front of her, and the effect was completely different. I really want Jiang Bai to do this to me, Wu tilde. Wang Feifei, what exactly did you miss back then? Well, you guys continue. I'm going outside, don't let anyone in tilde. After saying that, Wang Feifei left the room with a red face. On the surface, she went out to keep watch, but in fact, she was afraid that if she stayed any longer, people would envy her to death. Tilde. After coming outside, Wang Feifei finally breathed a sigh of relief, but her mind was full of the grand image of Liu Ruyan and Jiang Bai eating baby rations in front of her. No, Jiang Bai, how could he treat me like this? Was it revenge for the breakup? At this moment, Wang Feifei really wanted to tell Jiang Bai that she regretted it, but she knew very well that it was too late now. With such a strong rival in existence, it would take a miracle for her to get to the top. This guy. Liu Ruyan looked at Jiang Bai, who was still eating baby rations, and her face turned red to the back of her ears. She didn't know what happened just now, as she actually let this guy eat rations in front of Wang Feifei. Just now, did I go too far? Liu Ruyan thought so, but soon she was firm in her thoughts. No, I am the mother of 3 babies. What's wrong with letting their father eat the rations? It's in front of outsiders. Of course, feeding the 3 babies is the most important thing. Yes, that's it. Liu Ruyan was thinking so, but Jiang Bai knew nothing about it and continued to eat the baby rations with relish. A little. Hiccup tilde. Jiang Bai burped loudly and then let go. Liu Ruyan gave him a reproachful look. If this continued, this bastard would really get bloated. I'm full. Jiang Bai touched his stomach and then looked behind him. Ho! Where is Wang Feifei? Liu Ruyan, Puff tilde. Seeing Jiang Bai's confused look, Liu Ruyan couldn't help laughing. You are really good. So you didn't hear your first love talking just now, right? Ahem, what is that? Jiang Bai coughed dryly. It's all because of you, my wife, you're too much. Your husband has no time to be distracted. Roll. Liu Ruyan's face turned red and she glared at Jiang Bai. What nonsense was this guy talking about? His talk of having no time to be distracted was clearly just a sophistry. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the task of singing a love song to express his love for his wife in public and obtaining 100% equity of Jinhai Real Estate Company. As expected, the system rewards arrived quietly. It was also at this moment that Jiang Bai became the boss of Xuanwu Villa and Jinhai Real Estate, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. What are you laughing at? Liu Ruyan glared at someone, then pinched Jiang Bai. She thought that guy was still thinking about what had just happened. This scene happened to be seen by Wang Feifei. Seeing that the two people who came out did not forget to show off their love, Wang Feifei felt stabbed in the heart again. Damn it, even if I was the one who proposed the breakup back then, I wouldn't have to torture myself like this after all these years. Mr. Jiang, Miss Liu, take care. Wang Haishuan, the person in charge of Xuanwu Villa, was all smiles as he saw Jiang Bai and the other man off. After all, every resident who could live in Xuanwu Villa was either rich or noble, so he would try not to offend them. After all, he was just an employee. Fei, Mr. Jiang is really your junior high school classmate. Well, I heard that your first love's last name was also Jiang, could it be? No way Fei, Mr. Jiang is your first love. There was a lot of sales gossip going on. It would have been better if Wang Feifei didn't listen. After listening, she regretted it even more. She wondered why she broke up with him back then. What's this? Wang Haishuan looked at the message sent from the headquarters, his mind buzzed, and his phone almost fell to the ground. How is this possible? Brother Wang, what are you doing? The sales staff around looked over, including Wang Feifei. Swallowing his saliva, Wang Haishuan looked in the direction where Jiang Bai's family disappeared, his face full of disbelief. You may not believe this, but just now Mr. Jiang acquired Jinhai Real Estate Company and became our boss. Boom! After Wang Feifei heard this, her face was filled with shock, and her mind went blank. Brother Wang, what did you say? Jiang Bai, he became the boss of Jinhai Real Estate Company. Picking up Wang Haishuan's phone, Wang Feifei saw the message on the phone and fell to the ground with a thud, her face as pale as paper. It's actually true. Biting her lips tightly, Wang Feifei felt that everything was unreal, like a dream. To be more precise, she couldn't believe it. Oh my god. However, the sales staff and even Wang Haishuan were all confused. Could it be that Wang Feifei and Jiang Bai were really junior high school sweethearts? His tilde. Instantly, everyone gasped. Oh my goodness, if that were the case, Wang Feifei would have missed the chance to become a wealthy wife. This blow, I can't blame her for this tilde. When he looked at Wang Feifei again, his eyes were, as expected, full of sympathy. Even Jinhai Real Estate Company was acquired, so he was definitely a rich bachelor. Wang Feifei had always wanted to marry a rich man, but she didn't know that she had ruined this opportunity with her own hands. Brother Wang, can you be sure? A colleague standing by asked with some reluctance. Wang Haishuan shook his head bitterly after hearing this. Of course I am sure, and Jiang Bai holds 100% of the shares of Jinhai Real Estate. This tilde. As soon as these words were spoken, many salesmen in the sales office were filled with disbelief. Wang Feifei had an absolute controlling stake in Jinhai Real Estate. My god. They immediately looked at Wang Feifei again with pity in their hearts. If this happened to them, they would probably want to die. After hearing this, Wang Feifei really wanted to slap herself hard. This top socialite just passed her by like this. Chapter 23 Ruyan, this is my cousin Jiang Bai. Return to the villa. You little brat, you took such a long time to walk around. Mother Jiang glared at Jiang Bai. She hadn't seen her grandchildren for such a long time and she missed them quite a lot. Of course, more importantly, lunch hadn't been prepared yet. Auntie, Jiang Bai and I had a Western meal. Seeing that Jiang's mother was about to tear Jiang Bai apart, Liu Ruyan tried to come to the rescue, but her face immediately turned red. It was obvious that she had fed sanbao to that guy in front of his first love at the sales office, and that guy had actually taken to it. Until now, she still couldn't believe that she could do such a thing. I see. After hearing what her daughter-in-law said, Jiang's mother's attitude obviously improved a lot. But most of the food outside is unhygienic. It's better to cook at home. Brat, come to the kitchen and teach me and Auntie Wen how to cook. Mom, Before Jiang Bai finished speaking, Jiang's mother gave him a death stare, tilde. Okay then. Just like this, under Jiang Bai's teaching, Jiang's mother and Aunt Wen seemed to have been enlightened, and a new window of understanding of cooking seemed to have been opened. Then, a table full of dishes was placed on the dining table. I made this dish. Jiang's mother took a bite of the dish she cooked, her face full of disbelief. She obviously couldn't believe that the dish she cooked was so delicious. Sister Lin, the young master is amazing. Aunt Wan was also impressed. It was the first time she called Jiang Bai young master. His cooking skills were second to none. It was no exaggeration to say that her cooking skills had at least improved 3 times. As expected of my son, you have quite a bit of my demeanor. Mother Jiang nodded in satisfaction and spoke proudly. Jiang Bai glanced at his mother and said, Mom, why don't you consider becoming a disciple or something? Well. After hearing what her son said, Jiang's mother thought carefully and nodded, become a disciple. Actually, it's not impossible. As she spoke, Jiang's mother picked up the broom beside her and suddenly attacked, swinging it towards Jiang Bai. My disciple. You big-headed ghost, you are so bold to take advantage of your mother tilde. However, Jiang Bai dodged it easily. Seeing this scene, Aunt Wang and Liu Ruyan looked at each other, but did not stop it. Instead, they watched Jiang's mother revive the mother's power. After a lot of commotion, Liu Ruyan ate a lot again, which made Jiang's mother very happy. After all, the more they ate, the more food the 3 little ones would have. That's right. Jiang's mother then took out a book from her bag and said, You little bastard, this is our household registration book. The child is already this big, find a time to get the certificate. Mom, why are you in such a hurry? Okay. Feeling his mother's sharp gaze, Jiang Bai tactfully took the household registration booklet and performed a series of operations smoothly without any hesitation. This was undoubtedly his biological mother. Puff tilde. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan smiled unscrupulously, causing Jiang Bai to glare at her. It seemed that this girl was particularly happy every time she saw him make a fool of himself. She really deserved to be punished. Ruyan, I don't mind. Mother Jiang changed her expression and smiled, looking at her great contributor. How come, Auntie? Liu Ruyan had already made plans for this. Even if she didn't get the marriage certificate for Jiang Bai, she would not marry anyone else in the future. For her, getting the marriage certificate was just a procedure. After lunch, Jiang Bai drove the extended version of Porsche 718 to the shopping mall, while Jiang's mother and Aunt Wan were tinkering with cooking. After Jiang Bai's teaching, the two of them were full of energy. Wow, what a cute baby tilde. In the shopping mall, Jiang Bai was pushing sanbao and waiting for Liu Ruyan to buy clothes when a familiar voice came. The girl was very beautiful and was as beautiful as Liu Ruyan. She was wearing a tank top, a miniskirt, red high heels, and black stockings, looking like a complete queen. Cousin. Jiang Bai was stunned when he saw the person coming. The person who appeared in front of him was none other than Jiang Bai's goddess cousin Chen Yuxuan from his aunt's family. Jiang Bai. Chen Yuxuan looked over and saw her aunt's handsome cousin. Hey, Jiang Bai, why are you pushing 3 cute babies? I have to say that Jiang Bai's whole family are very good looking, and Chen Yuxuan is much prettier than those so-called school beauties. What's wrong? Did it fall from someone else's house? That's too careless. Chen Yuxuan muttered, when I see the parents, I will have a good talk with them. This won't do. Listening to his cousin's mumbling, Jiang Bai coughed and said, Well, cousin, these 3 cute babies are my children. Puff tilde. Chen Yuxuan, who had just drunk a mouthful of water, couldn't hold it back and spat it all out. Their violent coughing almost choked her to death. What? Chen Yuxuan looked at her cousin in disbelief, and then looked at the three cute babies. Jiang Bai, these are your children, and there are three of them. In an instant, Chen Yuxuan felt confused. Oh my god, you are so bold. You haven't even graduated yet, and you've already given birth to three children. After calming down for a while, Chen Yuxuan whispered, Cousin, where is your Sanbao's mother? Oh. She went shopping for clothes. And like her cousin, Sanbao's mother is a great beauty. TSK tilde. Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Chen Yuxuan rolled her eyes at him and said, just like your cousin, keep bragging. It's no exaggeration to say that your cousin was a famous figure in school when I was in college. If I hadn't had no interest in men, my children would be playing with soy sauce by now. Chen Yuxuan's words were never ending and Jiang Bai was used to it. He had a very good relationship with this manly cousin when he was a child, and of course he knew that she was very beautiful. Ahem, cousin, please pay attention to your image. Jiang Bai looked around and said with a dry cough. Chen Yuxuan waved her hand indifferently. If you don't like it, then don't like it tilde. Oh, what a pity. I originally wanted to introduce my best friend to you. It was because of her that I came to your school as a counselor. Chen Yuxuan stated the purpose of her visit, but when she was about to say something else, she saw a beautiful figure. Ruyan. Seeing the person coming, Chen Yuxuan's eyes lit up and she walked over in her high heels. Oh my god, it's really you, Ruyan. Come on, I'll introduce someone to you. As she spoke, Chen Yuxuan had already pulled Liu Ruyan in front of Jiang Bai. Ruyan, this is my cousin Jiang Bai. You may not believe this, but my cousin, who is still a senior in college, actually has triplets. I don't know which girl they are from tilde. Liu Ruyan. My cousin? Jiang Bai? The girl's family. Realizing something, Liu Ruyan's face turned red. Oh my god, what did I hear? Jiang Bai turned out to be the cousin of my best friend. Chapter 24. I treat you as my best friend, but you want to be my sister-in-law. Jiang Bai, this is my best friend Liu Ruyan. Chen Yuxuan naturally didn't know, so she introduced herself. Let me tell you, my best friend is not simple. She is 3 years older than you, but she is already a professor at your Jiangnan University. She is definitely a cool goddess. Hey, isn't that beautiful? I wanted to introduce Ruyan to you before, but I never thought you were already married and had children. What a pity. After listening to her best friend's words, Liu Ruyan's face turned even redder. What the hell was going on? Could it be that her best friend had been planning to introduce her to her cousin a long time ago? Ahem tilde. Jiang Bai coughed dryly. At this moment, he also realized something. Cousin, what is that? The girl I'm talking about is your best friend. When Chen Yuxuan heard what her cousin said, she laughed immediately. Jiang Bai, your joke is not funny at all. How can you know Ruyan? Wrong. Soon, Chen Yuxuan thought of something and stared at her bestie with wide eyes. This. Ruyan, it can't be. A year ago you left without saying goodbye and said you were going to study. Is that possible? Yuxuan. I am indeed a mother of 3 babies. After saying this, Liu Ruyan's face turned red to the back of her ears, but to Chen Yuxuan, these words were like a bolt from the blue. Walter. You? At this moment, Chen Yuxuan was confused. Oh my god, what did she know? Cousin, this is what happened. 1 year ago. Then, Jiang Bai recounted the story of how they met and Chen Yuxuan was stunned. Jiang Bai, a year ago you said you slept with a girl as beautiful as me, Ruyan. And she got pregnant with triplets. Liu Ruyan took a deep breath. Since her best friend was Jiang Bai's cousin, she was not an outsider. She simply laid it out. Although it's a little hard to understand, it's true. Ho tilde. Chen Yuxuan took a deep breath and looked at the 2 people in front of her. Jiang Bai is the freshman teaching assistant, and you are her teaching assistant class counselor. This kind of fate, even TV dramas wouldn't dare to play it like this, right? But Chen Yuxuan soon realized another serious problem. Ruyan, how could you do this? You are with my cousin, what should I do? Well. Jiang Bai saw his cousin getting jealous. Oh my god, cousin, you don't really like women, do you? Hearing Jiang Bai's words, Chen Yuxuan's thoughts were exposed and her face turned red. Ho tilde. None of your business. Liu Ruyan's eyes widened. She looked at her best friend and confidant of 4 years in college in disbelief. Xuan, you actually like me? Immediately, Liu Ruyan thought about the past scenes. No wonder that guy would run into her bed whenever he had time and often touch her to take advantage of her. She felt so embarrassed just thinking about it. What? How could it be? Chen Yuxuan was so proud that she would not admit it. I don't have a boyfriend, but I want to try it out on you. Tilde. Test you big head ghost. Jiang Bai looked at his goddess cousin in confusion. Oh my god, cousin, I didn't expect you to be such a person. Jiang Bai, you. Seeing her cousin like this, Chen Yuxuan snorted coldly. Believe it or not, I will spread this matter to the family group. Casual. Jiang Bai would not allow threats to come his way. Instead, he looked at his cousin's graceful figure with a sly smile. If you dare, I will call my aunt and tell her that you are Lily. Har, cousin, do you deserve a beating? The threatening eyes fell on Jiang Bai, and Jiang Bai swallowed his saliva secretly. They had fought many times when they were young, and he always lost. After all, this goddess cousin who has never had a boyfriend is a 6th-degree judo master. After a brief argument, Chen Yuxuan sighed. Forget it, your cousin, will not hang myself on a tree. I heard that there are many beautiful girls at Jiangnan University. To be honest, it's not bad to be a counselor. That way, you will have more opportunities to meet beautiful girls, unlike you, a guy like you. But despite what she said, Chen Yuxuan still took out a wad of money from her bag generously. Here, this is 10,000 yuan, just consider it as a meeting gift for Sanbao, don't accuse me of being stingy as your cousin and best friend. Thank you, cousin. Jiang Bai was surprised to see his cousin being so generous and he quickly thanked her. Liu Ruyan smiled and looked at the guy in front of her. Just enjoy it secretly, Tilde. Chen Yuxuan glanced at Jiang Bai and said, it's you, kid. If someone else had snatched my best friend and asked me to give him 10,000 yuan as a gift, I would have taken a machete and cut him into pieces. It's half a month's salary. Chen Yuxuan's heart bleeds at the thought of this. However, since her cousin has dual identities as her best friend, she can't afford to give him anything less. Soon, Jiang Bai was walking in front, pushing Sanbao, while Liu Ruyan and her best friend were whispering to each other. Ruyan, you are so mean. Chen Yuxuan said this with a sour look on her face. She couldn't help but ask curiously, by the way, Ruyan, how many times did you have sex with my cousin a year ago? Yuxuan, what nonsense are you talking about? It was just that one time. Staring at her best friend, Chen Yuxuan didn't notice anything wrong. She couldn't help but glance at her cousin who had fought with her since childhood. That brat, I didn't realize he was so powerful. Then, Chen Yuxuan glared at her bestie. But, I quit my job and came to Jiangnan University as a counselor to find you, but you got together with my cousin. I treat you as my best friend, but you want to be my sister-in-law. Liu Ruyan blushed after being questioned by her bestie. I don't know that either. Who knew he was your cousin? Besides, it's been less than a month since we met again. When I found out I was pregnant with my third child, I didn't contact Jiang Bai, but kept it a secret from everyone. Listening to her bestie talking about the secrets of the past year, Chen Yuxuan was stunned. Such a big thing happened to you, but you didn't tell me. What do you think of me? When disaster strikes, do we all run away? Don't let your imagination run wild. Liu Ruyan held her best friend's arm. Just like before, you just got a job at that time, and I didn't want to distract you because of me. Hey tilde. With a sigh, she really didn't know what to say to her best friend. Then she glared at Jiang Bai fiercely. That brat should be considered half a scumbag, right? You must have suffered a lot this year. Chen Yuxuan cared tenderly. If Jiang Bai dares to let you down in the future, tell me, or I will beat him so hard that I won't recognize him anymore. But why am I so envious of my cousin? My best friend was snatched away like this. I am so sad. What should I do? Chapter 25. Your daughter-in-law is important, but your niece is not. What? Chen Yuxuan got on the extended version of the Porsche and looked at Jiang Bai in confusion. Ruyan, you said this car belongs to Jiang Bai. How is it possible that this brat is just a student and can afford this car? It's true. Liu Ruyan sighed. I spent all my savings on my pregnancy and childbirth, so how could I buy a car like this? You may not believe this, but Jiang Bai won 100 million yuan in the lottery. Chen Yuxuan's pupils suddenly widened when she heard this. Ruyan, how much did you say? 100 million. In fact, this figure was beyond her imagination. Her monthly salary was only 15,000 yuan, and including the year-end bonus, it was only 200,000 yuan. Of course, if she was awarded the title of professor, it would be different, just like her best friend. In other words, she would have to go without food or water for 500 years. You little brat, are you going to be financially independent right away? To be honest, Chen Yuxuan felt like she was dreaming. This transformation was extremely huge, but it was nothing compared to this Porsche worth just over 2 million yuan. Longhu Villa. Mom, look who's here. When Jiang Bai arrived at the villa, he saw his mother and Aunt Wang still busy in the kitchen and laughing. Aunt Hilda. Chen Yuxuan rolled her eyes at Jiang Bai. She had wanted to give her aunt a surprise, but this guy had ruined her plans. Oh, it's you, Xiaoxian. When Jiang's mother came to the living room, she saw a look of joy on Chen Yuxuan's face and asked, "What's wrong with you?" Seeing Jiang Bai and the other two coming back together, Jiang's mother was quite curious. She heard from Jiang Bai's aunt that this girl was in another city, so why did she suddenly come to Jiangnan? Is this true? After listening to Liu Ruyan's explanation, Jiang's mother looked at Chen Yuxuan in astonishment. Xiaoxian, you and Ruyan are best friends. Of course. Ruyan and I have been best friends throughout college and lived in the same dormitory. As she spoke, Chen Yuxuan's eyes fell on her best friend and she looked her up and down. What a good best friend, but it was a pity that she was taken away by her cousin. By the way, Mom, my cousin said she is also coming to teach at our school. Jiang Bai was thinking of something and said it. When Jiang's mother heard it, she looked at Chen Yuxuan and said, really? This way I can be closer to you, my aunt, in the future. Of course she wouldn't say it, in fact she came here just for her best friend, and she wanted to sleep with her in the same bed with her very much, but all this might become a luxury in the future. Very good. When Jiang's mother heard the news, a look of joy appeared on her face. Xiaoxian, please help take care of Ruyan in school in the future. Aunt, you. When the cousin heard what Jiang's mother said, she was immediately unhappy and said, don't do that. Your daughter-in-law is important, but your niece is not. Liu Ruyan's face turned red with jealousy. She was flattered to be favored by Jiang's mother. Go away, Tilda. Seeing her niece acting like a spoiled child, especially since she was so pretty, Jiang's mother didn't have much resistance. However, it was a different matter when it came to her own daughter-in-law. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. I didn't favor you much when I was a kid. You're already an adult, but you're still jealous, tilde. HMPH tilde. I don't care, auntie, you have to compensate me. Chen Yuxuan glanced at Liu Ruyan proudly. She felt unbalanced as her best friend got all the good things. Puff tilde. Seeing her best friend's expression, which she had never seen before, Liu Ruyan smiled consciencelessly. Chen Yuxuan naturally ignored it. Har, good. Jiang's mother looked at her son and said, if you want benefits, go find your cousin. I'll tell you a secret. His cooking skills are very good now. He can enjoy the food. Chen Yuxuan, cooking skills. Auntie, you are not kidding. But she had never seen her cousin enter the kitchen, so how good could such a person be at cooking? It's up to you tonight, little brat. Mother Jiang looked at her son, as if she could only help him so far. If you want your cousin to take good care of Ruyan, take her down. Although the words are rough, they do make sense. No problem. Jiang Bai just walked into the kitchen. Chen Yuxuan approached her bestie suspiciously. Ruyan, is this brat really a good cook? Looking at Jiang Bai busy in the kitchen, Liu Ruyan swallowed her saliva and nodded, not bad. After this meal, I want to eat the next one. Is this true tilde? Chen Yuxuan was even more confused by her best friend's words. She knew her best friend's family background very well. The Jiangnan Liu group was one of the most advanced in the whole of Jiangnan. The fact that her cousin's taste buds could be conquered was enough to show how good his cooking skills were. But, is that boy really that amazing? After all, he is only in his early 20s. Tilde. Soon, the tempting aroma from the kitchen wafted into Chen Yuxuan's nose. Her eyes sparkled and her stomach growled in protest, that brat. As dishes were brought to the table, the shock in Chen Yuxuan's eyes grew more and more intense. If the aroma alone was so good, how good would it taste? Suddenly, I understood what my best friend meant when she said, "After eating this meal, I'm thinking about the next one." After taking a bite of the dish, Chen Yuxuan's taste buds exploded. "Oh my god, this food is so delicious." Then, the look in his eyes when he looked at Jiang Bai changed. "Cousin, you are awesome. No wonder Ruyan was conquered by you. If I weren't your cousin, I'm afraid I would have no problem marrying you." Boom. Mother Jiang listened to her niece's words and hit her head unhappily. "Nizzy, what nonsense are you talking about?" Liu Ruyan glared at her best friend, blushing unconvincedly. "Am I that kind of person?" Chen Yuxuan covered her head and rolled her eyes. Such delicious food was too much for even gods to move, let alone her best friend. "I originally thought that my cousin took advantage of me, but now I feel that, it seems that Ruyan also has a lot of benefits tilde. Muttering to herself, Liu Ruyan really wanted to sew her best friend's mouth shut. She would die if she didn't speak. After dinner, watching her best friend and cousin enter the room, Chen Yuxuan's face was full of envy. Not long ago, she was the one who held the position next to her best friend. That stinky cousin, if her best friend gets wronged in the future, I'll let you know how powerful your cousin, who is a 6th degree in judo, As she spoke, the bones of her slender hands made crackling sounds. In the room, Liu Ruyan was in a daze. Listening to the sound of dripping water beside my ears, everything that happened seemed unreal, like a dream. That guy turned out to be the cousin of my best friend. She had heard from her best friend before that she would introduce her to her handsome cousin when she had time. Who would have thought that it was this guy who she had lured into the hotel by mistake? This night was destined to be a sleepless night for the goddess cousin. The person who was supposed to be her best friend sleeping next to her was sleeping with her cousin. It would be strange if she could fall asleep with all the possible scenes in her mind tilde. Chapter 26. I really don't know what made me crazy to come to Jiangnan to eat your dog food tilde. The next day, early morning. Tilde. Liu Ruyan felt her vagina getting wet and screamed, "Jiang Bai, wake up!" Jiang Bai opened his eyes sleepily and saw the baby's rations gushing out. "Should we give this to Sanbao first?" Jiang Bai asked as he was asking. After all, it was not a good idea to steal the food of the 3 little guys. "What are you thinking about? Do you think I can breastfeed Sanbao in this state?" He glared at Jiang Bai fiercely, not knowing what this guy was thinking. If his aunt and best friend saw his miserable appearance, it would be more painful than killing her. "Well, that's right." Jiang Bai coughed dryly, and Liu Ruyan glared at someone. "Don't be so reserved, you're getting a bargain. Eat up your rations, and don't embarrass yourself at school." Liu Ruyan's pretty face turned red. If her best friend heard this, she would definitely be extremely envious. "Okay tilde. Jiang Bai was immediately motivated when he heard this. "Ruyan baby, then your husband will not be polite. It seems that I don't need to eat breakfast again." Gudu drank voraciously. Liu Ruyan held the head of a guy and watched him eat the baby rations. No wonder she was so hungry every day. It would be strange if she wasn't hungry with such a big eater. After drinking for a quarter of an hour, Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief, took a shower, and came out with Jiang Bai feeling refreshed. "Ruyan, you look so good." Chen Yuxuan looked at her best friend's rosy face and glanced at her cousin inconspicuously. This must be due to the bad boy. She didn't sleep well last night and she had to cram a lot. It seemed that this was what happened to girls after doing that. "It's fine. I slept well yesterday." Liu Ruyan naturally had no idea what her best friend was thinking, so she just said it casually. However, this sentence made her best friend extremely envious. It was confirmed that she had a good sleep. Sure enough, they did that. Only after that would the girls' sleep quality be greatly improved. Soon, we arrived at the dining table. "Come, Ruyan, eat this to replenish yourself tilde." Mother Jiang peeled an egg and placed it on Liu Ruyan's plate. Jiang Bai didn't even get this treatment, which made Chen Yuxuan quite envious. "Aunt, I want one too." "Go away, don't you have hands? Peel it yourself." Jiang's mother rolled her eyes and then served a bowl of soup with a smile. "Come on, Ruyan, this is the chicken soup that I have been cooking for more than 2 hours." Chen Yuxuan sighed. She really wanted to say that this was unfair tilde. Then, his eyes fell on his cousin who hadn't even touched his chopsticks. Jiang Bai, aren't you going to eat? Hiccup tilde tilde. Before he could say anything, Jiang Bai burped, you guys eat, I'm not hungry. When Liu Ruyan heard this, she thought about the scene of that guy drinking heavily when he woke up, and her face turned red to the back of her ears. Jiang's mother and Aunt Wan looked at each other. As people who had experienced this, they smiled and said nothing. How come? Chen Yuxuan obviously didn't understand. Today is a military training day. Even if you don't exercise, you still have to stand there. Eat something. Before Jiang Bai finished speaking, Jiang's mother tried to smooth things over. Xiao Xian, don't make things difficult for your cousin. It must be that Ruyan didn't release it all night, and the amount was too much and your cousin ate it all. Mother Jiang said this, she had already guessed it because she hadn't fed Sanbao this morning. I didn't release it, and my cousin ate it all. As she was talking, Chen Yuxuan looked at her bestie, and finally landed on a much larger one than before. Could it be? Chen Yuxuan almost choked on the chicken soup in her mouth when she thought of something. In an instant, her goddess cousin suffered a critical hit of 100,000 tons. He glared at his cousin fiercely, that bastard, he's robbing me of my benefits, woo tilde tilde. Hateful. That bastard, I really want to tear him apart with jutsu, what should I do? After breakfast, Jiang Bai drove the two goddesses towards Jiangnan University. Drive faster. It's all your fault for not starting earlier. Now you're going to be late. Looking at the time, Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes at Jiang Bai in annoyance. There were only 20 minutes left before the military training. How can you blame me? It was you who made me eat up all the food. Jiang Bai. Liu Ruyan saw the look in someone's eyes and said, where are you looking at? Didn't you see enough this morning tilde tilde? Hey, how can I see enough? Even a lifetime is not enough. Listening to Jiang Bai's unscrupulous words, Liu Ruyan glared at him coquettishly, but her face was filled with happiness. Hello. Chen Yuxuan in the back row was unhappy. I say, you two, that's enough. Have you ever considered the feelings of a single person like me, your cousin, when you are so heartless and showing off your affection? Pooh tilde. Yuxuan, what nonsense are you talking about? Liu Ruyan's face turned even redder, and she glared at her best friend. When did I show off my love for you? Stop talking nonsense. That is. Chen Yuxuan was fed dog food again. You guys are trying to kill me. I really don't know what has gotten into me to come to Jiangnan to eat your dog food tilde tilde tilde. Ruyan, don't be too tired when you get to school, okay? When Liu Ruyan heard Jiang Bai's concerned words, she looked at her best friend's murderous eyes through the rearview mirror and coughed dryly. What, Jiang Bai, stop talking. What's wrong? Jiang Bai obviously didn't notice her cousin's strangeness. I'm doing this for your own good. Your husband would be so distressed if you were tired. Also, if you feel tired during military training, just give me a wink and I'll make arrangements. Liu Ruyan really didn't dare to look at her best friend, for fear that she would strangle her to death. I know tilde. Puff tilde. Chen Yuxuan vomited 3 liters of blood and died suddenly on the spot. Seeing her best friend and cousin showing off their affection in various ways, even she began to doubt whether she should find a man to marry. Tilde. Don't even think about trying to trick me into marrying you. The Lily tribe will never be slaves. Jiangnan University, Forest Path. Hey, shit. Lin Zifan stared at the phone screen with his eyes wide open, swallowing his saliva. Third brother, fourth brother, there is another goddess counselor in school. As pretty as my sister-in-law. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng narrowed their eyes when they heard it and looked over. As expected, they saw a goddess-like and beautiful teacher named Fan. Gulp tilde. Gulp tilde. The two of them swallowed their saliva one after another, their eyes almost glued to their phones. Oh my god, it seems that this teacher is reporting today. Grandma, what are you waiting for? Let's go to the playground. As long as we are brave enough to get the teacher to take maternity leave, maybe we will be the next boss. As they were talking, the 3 of them trotted towards the playground. Damn, that kind of beauty is simply enough to make my cock excited. The goddess has to wait for me tilde tilde tilde. Chapter 27. My wife took the initiative to kiss me on the spot. Is this true or false? School playground. Squeak tilde. The extended version of the Porsche stopped, and then two stunning beauties got out of it. One of them was Liu Ruyan, and the other was Chen Yuxuan. This. As soon as I arrived at the playground, I happened to see the eldest brother, his sister-in-law and the goddess counselor. They were talking about getting off the bus, and I was stunned where I stood. What's going on? It's fine that the boss came with his sister-in-law, but what's the big deal about a goddess counselor? Lin Zifan and the other two looked at each gulp tilde. The three of them swallowed their saliva together. Of course, they didn't dare to covet the sister-in-law, but the eldest cousin was different. He. Don't look at it. Jiang Bai saw the three people and glanced at his lesbian cousin. As a cousin, he naturally had to help her. He then sent a photo album to the dormitory communication group. Don't say I'm not nice enough. I've sent you my cousin's photo album. If you have the guts, go and pursue my cousin. After saying that, Jiang Bai raised the corner of his mouth and walked towards the two beauties, leaving the confused LSP trio behind. Oh my god tilde. Wang Kuan was the first to come back to his senses. He clicked on the benefits given by the boss in the group. She was wearing a see-through suspender dress and had a charming look in her eyes. His heart tightened and his heartbeat suddenly accelerated. Boss, you're a good man. When Lin Zifan and Chen Feng saw Wang Kuan's appearance, they subconsciously clicked on the photo album. It would have been fine if they hadn't looked at it, but their eyes almost popped out after seeing it. Hiss. I'll never get tired of playing with my eldest cousin's figure for the rest of my life. Wang Kuan nodded his head like a chicken pecking at rice, then looked again in the direction where his eldest cousin, the goddess, left. Oh my god, second brother, fourth brother, I seem to be in love. Pooh. Get lost tilde. Lin Zifan and the other man glared at Wang Kuan, and looked at the goddess in the distance with a firm gaze. The goddess, the eldest cousin, could only be theirs. I'm going to buy toilet paper. Lin Zifan looked at the screen of his mobile phone, his heart beating faster. He said something and ran quickly towards the school store. It would be a pity if he didn't take advantage of such a benefit. Military training will begin soon. However, the instructors looked at Jiang Bai with complicated eyes. This kid had really taught them a lesson yesterday. After running 10 kilometers with weights, they still felt a slight pain in their calves. After the assembly, the freshmen found the two goddess teachers very pleasing to the eyes, especially the tight sportswear that perfectly outlined the figures of the two goddesses. That slender waist that can't even be held in one hand, it would be worth dying for if I could sleep on it for one night. Ding! The host triggers the task, and asks my cousin to compete with the instructor and bet that if all the instructors lose, they will have to perform a bottle cap opening show with their abdominal muscles. If they win, they will have my cousin add the instructor on WeChat. As a reward, my wife will give me a kiss on the spot, and a mysterious treasure chest will be given as well. Oh! Jiang Bai was stunned when he heard the system's task. His wife took the initiative to kiss him on the spot. Is this real? Looking at the playground filled with nearly 3,000 people, and then looking at my charming wife laughing and talking with her goddess cousin, my god, that scene is quite exciting. Of course, he is not such a person. He just simply wants to see all the instructors' abdominal muscles opening bottle caps. Yes, that's it. This point cannot be refuted. If you want to refute it, please find the author. Instructor he. Thinking of this, Jiang Bai began to implement his plan. In order to get his wife to kiss him on the spot, he had to let his cousin work hard. Of course, if Chen Yuxuan knew about this, I wonder if she would beat Jiang Bai for 300 rounds. Instructor he couldn't help but twitch his lips when he heard Jiang Bai's words. He was depressed yesterday and became alert reflexively. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Puff tilde. The freshmen saw the instructor's alert and vigilant look and were obviously frightened by senior Jiang Bai. Well, what? Jiang Bai coughed dryly. Instructor, do you have a girlfriend? No, why are you asking? Obviously, instructor he did not think that Jiang Bai had any good intentions, and this was indeed the case. After all, both he and his goddess cousin were just tools for him to complete the task. That's good. Why don't I introduce my cousin to you? My cousin has always wanted to spar with a master. After some lobbying, the instructor couldn't help but look at Chen Yuxuan. Obviously, he didn't expect that Jiang Bai's cousin was the beautiful girl he had looked at several times. Thinking of this, the instructor's old face turned red. In fact, he was only 7 or 8 years older than these students. Jiang Bai, you're crazy. The goddess cousin glared at Jiang Bai and said, don't even think about letting me spar with the instructor. Yeah. I'll cook you a table full of delicious food tonight. Liu Ruyan, Jiang Bai, don't make trouble. Yu Xian won't agree to your request, right? Good. My cousin agreed shamelessly. Ruyan, I don't want to eat Jiang Bai's food. I just want to have a competition with the instructor. Liu Ruyan's forehead was filled with black lines. This explanation was extremely far-fetched. Coach He, right? I want to compete with you. If you lose, I'll be your girlfriend. Chen Yuxuan was also very direct. With such a domineering remark, everyone immediately looked over. This. While instructor He was confused, Jiang Bai said to the many freshmen, of course instructor He, if you win, my cousin will be your girlfriend. If you lose. How about all the instructors show us how to open a bottle cap with their abdominal muscles in public? What do you think? After this kind of promotion, many freshmen were excited. Damn, this military training is interesting. If you win, you get the beauty from the instructor. If you lose, the instructor's abdominal muscles can open bottle caps. No matter how you look at it, it's a win. I'm looking forward to what will happen next. Chapter 28 Sister-in-law is too bold. Good. I agree on behalf of instructor He. The chief instructor said this with a divine assist, and then looked at instructor He. Xiao He seized the opportunity. If we could get such a beautiful girl, our entire group would be so jealous. When instructor He heard the chief instructor's joke, his face turned red. Har ha har har tilde. Many instructors were also very happy, laughing and joking. That's right, if you lose, at most we will perform a bottle cap opening show with you using your abdominal muscles. Okay then. Instructor He also knew that this was a good opportunity for him to win the beauty. Teacher Liu, I'm sorry. Bring it on. Naturally, my cousin did not take instructor He seriously. After all, she was now a 6th-degree black belt in judo, and few young people could match her. The instructors were stunned by the movement. That pretty girl actually knows judo. Instructor He did not dare to be careless and tried to throw a military punch. My cousin's mouth curled up, and she blocked the punch with her slender hand, then kicked instructor His waist with a side kick. The two men separated as soon as they touched each other. As the masters fought, instructor He no longer dared to be careless. After a few warm-up moves, Chen Yuxuan obviously no longer held back. Jiang Bai, don't forget your promise. As he spoke, he dodged instructor His attack, locked his throat with his slender legs, and then grabbed his arm and easily took him down. What an amazing girl! The chief instructor's eyes sparkled. Yesterday, that kid wiped out all the instructors, and today his cousin easily controlled the instructors. Everyone in this family is truly extraordinary. Har har, Jiangnan University is really full of hidden talents. I'm willing to accept the loss. The chief instructor saw the confused instructor He and said, all instructors, gather together and perform the abdominal muscle opening bottle cap in order. Yes. When the instructors heard this, they looked at Chen Yuxuan meaningfully. No one would have thought that the seemingly harmless goddess teacher would actually be an incredible judo genius. Tilde. At that moment, all the freshmen were excited. Oh my god, Senior Jiang Bai is so awesome, and Goddess Yuxuan is so amazing. However, Lin Zifan and the other two looked at him for a long time and all swallowed their saliva. The small piece of paper that was left of Lin Zifan's roll fell to the ground with a thud and rolled more than half a meter down the slope. Fuck, isn't this a dream? Lin Zifan shuddered, thinking of the charming and attractive cousin of the eldest sister. The eldest sister is so powerful, a judo master, even the instructor is no match for her. My goodness, you didn't do anything excessive, otherwise you would have no descendants. At this point, their crotches couldn't help but tighten, and Wang Kuan and Chen Feng's faces were filled with horror. With their taekwondo skills, they were not even worthy of lifting shoes in front of him. I guess the eldest goddess cousin doesn't need 5 fingers at all, just 1 finger can make them obey. Oh my god, look, the instructor is going to show off his abs to open a bottle cap. Lin Zifan looked towards a certain place on the platform and saw an instructor lifting up his short-sleeved shirt, revealing his 8-pack abs in front of many freshmen, causing their hormones to explode. Wow tilde. Instructor brother, he actually has 8-pack abs. Oh my god, I like it so much, it's much better than those gym ones, woo tilder tilder. The freshmen were in a state of panic, while the instructors were unusually nervous. No, to be more precise, they were embarrassed. Seeing this, Liu Ruyan blushed. The instructor's 8-pack abs weren't as good looking as that guy's. Oh. Liu Ruyan, what are you thinking about? HMPH tilder. Look, you only know how to stir up trouble, and you even don't let your cousin go. Jiang Bai glared at someone, feeling no guilt at all. After all, it was just a convenient thing for his cousin. Go. Don't talk nonsense. It's you who your husband won't let go of. Jiang Bai, you. Hearing what someone said, Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes widened. Seeing that no one was paying attention to the two people talking, she breathed a sigh of relief. You are crazy. Ding. Congratulations to their host for completing the mission. As a reward, your wife will kiss you on the spot and you will get a mysterious treasure chest. Open the treasure chest. Hearing the sound of the system reward arriving, Jiang Bai opened the mysterious treasure chest without hesitation. Ding! Congratulations to their host for obtaining the Indian God Oil and Lucky Card X3. Note, India's magic oil. Using this magic oil in combination with massage techniques can quickly heal injuries. Even if all the tendons and veins in the body are broken, they can be healed. It turns out to be a genuine magic oil. I thought it had a wonderful effect on endurance tilder tilder. After seeing the reward, Jiang Bai lost interest. R tilder. At this moment, Liu Ruyan, who was about to turn around to talk privately with her best friend, sprained her ankle because she didn't stand properly. She subconsciously turned around to grab Jiang Bai. Don't ask why, it was completely a conditioned reflex. Teacher Liu, tilder tilder. When Jiang Bai came back to his senses, he saw his wife rushing towards him with the force of a mountain, and happened to kiss him on the mouth. What? When Chen Yushuan heard her best friend's voice, she looked over, but she saw that her best friend actually threw her cousin to the ground and kissed him. The sudden dog food caught her off guard. Hateful. These two people want to piss themselves off or something tilder tilder. Fuck tilder. Lin Zifan also looked in the direction of the voice, his face full of confusion, and he cursed, "Sister-in-law, this is too bold." It was fine if they kissed passionately in the woods before, but now they kissed the boss in front of all the freshmen. Wang Kuan and Chen Feng gulped their saliva. Oh my god, at that moment, it seemed like the person their sister-in-law was kissing was not the boss, but themselves. Boss, this is so happy. The two were filled with emotion and looked at their sister-in-law with admiration at the same time. Their sister-in-law is as brave as any man and dares to love and hate. They admire her so much. The sound of swallowing saliva came from all around. They saw their own goddess Professor Hongdar clinging tightly to Senior Jiang Bai, and was almost crushed into a meat pie. My god. As for Liu Ruyan, her face was red all the way to her ears, and her mind was blank. Who am I? Where am I? I just fell down and kissed Jiang Bai. I'm done for. What should I do? How should I explain such a coincidence? I can't say that I knocked that guy down on purpose. Time seems to have stopped at this moment. Boo tilder. Liu Ruyan struggled to get free with all her might, and when they separated, she made a sound that made her wish she could find a crack in the ground to crawl into. This was so embarrassing tilder tilder. Damn Jiang Bai, stinky Jiang Bai, can't you hold yourself up? You even fell down by yourself. That guy must have done it on purpose. Yes, this must be that guy's conspiracy. For a moment, Jiang Bai's image in Liu Ruyan's mind rose to the level of an unforgivable heinous criminal. Wow. But at this moment, countless freshmen's glass hearts were broken on the playground. It was over. The goddess professor's first kiss was given to Senior Jiang Bai. I'm so envious tilder tilder. But, it's strange, why do they have such a good CP feeling tilder tilder? Chapter 29. Where are you taking me? This is not the way to the infirmary. The military training ground was dead silent. It hurts tilder. Liu Ruyan's imaginative voice brought everyone back to their senses. Jiang Bai also coughed dryly. His wife offered him a kiss. Wow, it's done this way. Damn it, is the system trying to kill me? Well, I'll carry you to the infirmary. After saying that, Jiang Bai put one hand around her slender waist and put the other hand through her legs, and left the playground like a princess. The beautiful picture is like a prince holding a princess in a fairy tale. These two people. Chen Yuxuan was totally confused. This was really intentional. It would be fine if they were just showing off their love in the car, but to do it in front of so many people was too much. It's a pity. It would have been so nice if I was the one hugging my best friend. That brat actually made me envious. Hey Tilda. Sister-in-law, you are so good at playing. Lin Zifan and the other two sipped their lips, feeling envious and jealous. Didn't he the boss know that he would lose friends by doing this? But, if I could hug my eldest goddess cousin like this. Involuntarily, the scene shifted to the one where he had just easily crushed the instructor. A shudder ran through my body, and then I took a breath of cold air. Oh my god, the consequences would be disastrous. Oh my god, for the sake of your life, you'd better give up this idea as soon as possible. Obviously, they are well aware of the fear that they will have a life to hold it but not a life to enjoy it. On the other side, somewhere on campus. Liu Ruyan felt that her waist seemed to have hit something, and her face turned red all the way to the back of her ears, as if she realized something. Could it be that guy's thing? Damn it, how could he do this? But soon, she realized something extremely serious, and her heart jumped to her throat. Jiang Bai, you. Where are you taking me? This is not the way to the infirmary. Feeling something touching her back from time to time, Liu Ruyan became even more worried. With her current sprained ankle, she wouldn't be able to run even if she wanted to. How could this be? That guy wouldn't really want her. Hey Tilda. My dear wife, didn't I tell you before that we should experience the feeling of a passionate kiss in the woods when we have time? Seeing the girl in his arms looking like a frightened little rabbit, Jiang Bai felt evil. What, you? Sure enough, Liu Ruyan's pretty face turned pale. That guy was really going to do something bad to her. She was doomed. If that guy used force, she would be no match for him. What to do? What to do? In an instant, Liu Ruyan thought of no less than 100 possible scenes, but the strange thing was why she still felt a little excitement and anticipation. Damn it, how could this happen? I am sick. I am. Jiang Bai, how dare you do this to me? There is no denying that Liu Ruyan panicked at this moment. She was really scared and looking forward to it. If that guy really did that to her, how would she react? Would she resist or submit or, resist but still welcome tilde? In particular, something she came into contact with made her even more panicked. Just teasing you. Jiang Bai saw Nazi with a rich expression on her face and said, what are you thinking about? You are so nervous, as if I am really going to do something to you. You? Listening to what someone said, Liu Ruyan's thoughts were exposed, and she bit Jiang Bai's shoulder in embarrassment. Hiss. Feeling the pain, Jiang Bai subconsciously slapped her on the back. Liu Ruyan immediately widened her beautiful eyes and said, you. Jiang Bai, you dare to hit me. Baby Ruyan, you have sinned against the heavens. Believe it or not, your husband will take you to the woods in a minute. Jiang Bai threatened, but the effect was surprisingly good. Liu Ruyan snorted and dared not to do it again, and just came to his office like this. Click. Lock the door. After all, if the next operation is seen by outsiders, it will definitely be enough to turn the entire Jiangnan University upside down. Sit still, let me see. He carefully placed Liu Ruyan on the seat and pinched her before leaving. This made Liu Ruyan glare at him. She had sprained her ankle, but he still treated her like this. Didn't he feel guilty? Take off your shoes and socks, revealing your delicate little feet. If seen by those foot control enthusiasts, they will definitely regard them as treasures. Hiss tilde. Be gentle. Liu Ruyan glared at someone. She could clearly see that her ankle was swollen. It's so serious. Jiang Bai, can you handle it? Stop talking. Jiang Bai glared at Liu Ruyan and said seriously, how do you know I can't do it? Fut tilde. When she met the look in a certain guy's eyes, especially that hint of badness, Liu Ruyan was immediately defeated. Of course, she had the most say in how capable that guy was, and the three little guys were the best proof of that. Jiang Bai took out the Indian magic oil and then began to massage the sprained ankle. A cool feeling came from the ankle, and the pain disappeared as if a snowy mountain was melting. After a few seconds, there was no trace of it anymore. Moreover, the swelling was shrinking at a visible speed. The effect of the Indian magic oil was surprisingly good, and of course it was also due to Jiang Bai's massage technique. At a certain moment, after the massage, Liu Ruyan felt a little lost. Okay, come down and take a few steps and try. Jiang Bai held Liu Ruyan's slender hand and spoke. After all, they had held hands countless times, and there was no one else in the office, so there was no need to worry. This chapter is not over yet, please click on the next page to continue reading. Can I, really? With Jiang Bai's help, Liu Ruyan stood up and stepped on the ground. It really doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah. You're a man, okay. Jiang Bai looked at the surprised Liu Ruyan and laughed. Okay. That's great, Artilder. After she finished speaking, Liu Ruyan realized that something was wrong and her face turned red. I don't know what you are talking about. Jiang Bai, you're trying to trick me again. Liu Ruyan was not convinced and snorted. Jiang Bai was confused and said, Condom. Where are the condoms here? You. Listening to that guy's infuriating words, Liu Ruyan really wanted to bite him to death. It was too abominable. Could he even speak normally? He was so inappropriate after just a few words. Damn it, why did I fall in love with this guy? No. Am I in love with him? Oh my god. No way, I would like this shameless guy tilder. As he was talking, Jiang Bai sent a message to his cousin, Cousin, Ruyan's foot is seriously injured. Please help teach our class today. I will take Ruyan home. Jiang Bai, you. Soon, Jiang Bai saw her cousin's reply, forget it, I really owed you two in my previous life. Take good care of my bestie, or I'll punish you when I get back. Holding the phone, Chen Yuxuan gritted her teeth as she watched the sports committee member lead the class training. She couldn't help but look at Jiang Bai's class instructor. Instructor he, let's have another sparring session tilder. Chapter 30 If you don't care, why should I care? Ahem, Teacher Chen, this can't be possible. Instructor he coughed dryly. He had a deep understanding of Chen Yuxuan's skills just now. Even 10 of them might not be her match. No. Chen Yuxuan then pulled instructor he aside for individual practice. The freshmen were all very curious about this scene. Looking at the expression of Goddess Yuxuan, it seemed that she was a little unhappy. As expected. Bang 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 tilder. About 3 to 5 minutes later, Chen Yuxuan came out in a happy mood. Now, I feel much better. Then, they saw instructor he with his teeth bared, and his eyes were full of fear as he looked at Chen Yuxuan. My god, this tomboy will never be married unless the sun rises in the west. It's too violent, but I absolutely cannot let her notice my thoughts, otherwise I will be crippled. In the office. Tilder. With a deep breath, Liu Ruyan put on her shoes and socks and stepped on the ground. Well, let's go back and continue the military training. Boom. As soon as Liu Ruyan finished speaking, Jiang Bai doted on her head and knocked it. Then he glanced at her magnificence and said, they say that big breasts mean no brains. I don't know how you got the title of aloof goddess professor. I've already sent a message to my cousin, asking her to take care of the house for a day. Tilder. Hearing her man's words, Liu Ruyan was stunned. You, let Yuxuan take care of it for a day, isn't that a bad idea? After all, your cousin reported on the first day. You want to go back, that's fine. Jiang Bai glanced at his goddess wife, but you should be prepared to be watched by everyone. What happened just now will definitely cause a lot of trouble. It's better to calm down for a day, and tomorrow will be just right. Liu Ruyan. Although she didn't want to admit it, she knew very well that Jiang Bai's consideration was right. Somehow, she always felt that her IQ was infinitely lowered when she was with this guy. It's all your fault. Giving up the idea of going back to the playground, Liu Ruyan glared at someone coquettishly. Blame me. Jiang Bai was unhappy when he heard this. He refused to take the blame. How can you blame me for this? It was you who sprained your ankle and threw yourself at me, and then kissed me. It's not enough that I'm your meat cushion for free. Tilder. Before Jiang Bai could finish his words, Liu Ruyan covered his mouth with her hands while her pretty face turned red. You're crazy, and you're still talking. He snorted. This bastard would die if he suffered a little loss. Don't blame you, blame me. It's me who got you into trouble. That's more like it. Jiang Bai nodded in satisfaction. Liu Ruyan covered her head and said that in terms of talking, she was no match for 10 of them. However, she didn't know that instructor he had to bear everything. I don't know how instructor he would react if he knew the truth. While flirting with each other, the two drove away from the school in their beloved car. After all, they couldn't go back due to military training, so the first thing they thought of was naturally the three little guys. I don't know whether knowing you is a blessing or a curse. Liu Ruyan looked at the beautiful scenery flying backwards outside the window and thought about what happened after the two met again. She found that her life was completely messed up. Come on, where can you find such a great and excellent husband? Liu Ruyan listened to the narcissistic words and gave him a look of contempt. It was the first time she saw someone so shamelessly flattering himself. Humph, you are the only one who is outstanding. Liu Ruyan, who hadn't finished speaking yet, immediately felt something and her face turned red. Jiang Bai closed the car window quickly. Well. Although he was a little confused, Jiang Bai still closed the one-way window. Then he heard Liu Ruyan's voice, I can't help it. The baby's rations are coming out. Jiang Bai parked the car on the side of the road and looked at the passers-by. Although he couldn't see anything inside the car from the outside, the pressure was doubled. Wife, you don't want to solve it here, do you? Otherwise, you can't let me go home with wet clothes. Hurry up. As she spoke, Liu Ruyan froze and lifted up her clothes to reveal a pair of headlights, which were about to pop out. Forget it, if you don't care, why should I care? Jiang Bai made up his mind and let Anu eat the baby rations. After a while of drinking, Liu Ruyan looked at the vehicles and pedestrians passing by outside the car and boat. Some of them even walked right next to their cars. Her face turned red to the back of her ears. Oh my God, if someone saw this, I would really want to die. But fortunately, you can only see the outside from the inside. 1 minute. 3 minutes. 5 minutes. After an unknown amount of time, Jiang Bai let out a long burp. Liu Ruyan could even smell the baby's food, which made her blush even more. After drinking the baby's rations, Liu Ruyan obviously felt much better. She then gave the guy beside her a warning look. Jiang Bai, don't tell anyone what just happened, you hear me? Well. Jiang Bai frowned slightly when he heard what his goddess wife said. Why do these words sound so familiar? You said the same thing the night we met a year ago, right? Roll. You are the only one with a good memory. Liu Ruyan glared at Jiang Bai. This guy dared to mention that night. She rested for 2 or 3 days before she recovered. She didn't know if it was because it was the first time. For the sake of giving your husband a good meal, I agree to your unreasonable request. Jiang Bai watched Liu Ruyan retract the car lights. He had seen this scene countless times. Liu Ruyan rolled her eyes at a certain guy. She had seen it so many times and she was not tired of it. It was obvious that she was so numb that she didn't bother to care. Have a good meal, you big-headed ghost. Liu Ruyan felt like crying but had no tears. She felt that the baby's food ration was getting more and more. Fortunately, that guy was always available to drink, otherwise she really didn't know how to deal with these things. She couldn't solve it by herself, and she couldn't reach it. Besides, what's the point of making something yourself and drinking it yourself? Is it self-production and self-sales? Thinking of this, Liu Ruyan's heart couldn't stop beating violently. After she came back to her senses at a certain moment, Liu Ruyan's beautiful eyes widened. Oh my God, Liu Ruyan, what are you thinking about? I've been corrupted by that guy for so long. Baby Ruyan, your face is so red, are you embarrassed just now? Jiang Bai looked at his wife suspiciously, thinking that she was feeling ashamed after what had just happened. None of your business. Liu Ruyan glared at her man. She certainly wouldn't say that she was thinking of some unbearable scenes, which made her like this. If she let this guy know, he would definitely laugh at her. She was so angry. Was she going to be ruined by this guy in her life?